Hello, everyone, and welcome to another fabulous Tuesday. And if you haven't been paying attention, there's a lot for us to be talking about here. We're playing some Flesh and Blood TCG.
I'm going to text somebody else.
If you're unfamiliar, yeah, Steven, go chat and stuff. So a few things happened while we didn't stream last week. It's been 2 weeks, yeah. Since we last streamed, Tales of Aria First Edition has come out.
Okay.
That's exciting. That's worth talking about.
Yeah.
I played in some pre-releases.
Yeah.
We got bannings of both a predominant card, Seeds of Agony, in all three colors, from Monarch, and
a yet to be released card,
devastatingly,
Duskblade.
For me, Duskblade. Now,
really, just a play. I mean, that is a bold thing to do.
Well, I think it's the right.
I didn't expect that.
I think it's the right thing to do.
I didn't expect it.
I'll tell you a few things. I love Runeblade.
Here's the thing, though.
Huge Runeblade fan.
Before you even say that, I think it's the right thing to do. Would you have ever, in a world before the announcement happened, said, "Okay, what needs to happen next is we need to ban all Seeds and Duskblade"? Would that ever have crossed your mind? Like, I understand that after hearing it and seeing it in the justification, we can make a decision on yes or no. But regardless of that, I had no idea anything like this was coming or needed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The thing I will say is I saw Duskblade, and as a Runeblade player,
we both were like, this is crazy.
I immediately was like, this goes right into all my Runeblade decks, and it just makes them better.
All of them.
Because I want to do it anyway. I play attacks and non-attacks, and at least in Viscera. Chain does it naturally, and Briar does it as well, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, I do nothing extra, except for now I sometimes swing a weapon that just keeps getting better.
Yeah.
And like the odds of me not doing a non-attack attack action turn.
Like the whole Runeblade, everything is about that sequence.
Yeah.
And like that's the whole class.
In Viscera, you have Become the Arc Knight.
Yeah.
It's a non-attack that lets you go get an attack if you don't have one.
Right.
So it's like, this is just built for this.
Right.
And it ramps, right, as you go. And it's not like the Duskblade where, the Dawnblade, there it is, where you can, as the opponent, stop it. You have the option to slow it down.
Right.
Block it, the counters go away, right? This just keeps happening.
Yeah, there was opponent input on that.
Yeah, there's not on
this. Scalability without opponent input is very difficult.
Yeah, so it's very good.
It's kind of the chain problem, really.
It's probably particularly good in chain. Who's already really good. Good enough that you're banning a card that is usually 9 of in his deck.
Yeah, right.
Now, I think did I expect it? No. But the reason I think it's the right choice, especially on the Duskblade, that first edition set was about to come out. You can always unban a card.
That's true.
You cannot get someone's $1,000 they spent on a cold foil weapon back.
Mm-hmm.
So if the set comes out, I don't get a cold foil Duskblade, I was going to buy one.
Mm-hmm.
That it literally.
So it kind of splits the goalpost there.
Name the price.
Yeah.
So if it comes out and you allow people to collect it, and then you ban it, that hurts way worse. Now, Seeds of Agony, it's a common.
Collect it by buying it, not through booster packs.
Right.
Because you're still collecting it, and you're hitting it in a pack, and then you're like,
That still feels not as bad.
Is that the noise? Is that the Duskblade noise? Did I get that right?
I think that's it, yeah. To me, that still feels less bad than...
Duskblade.
If I didn't open Duskblade, and then I trade for it, or I buy it...
Yeah, that is worse.
That is just...
Your intent is set there, yeah.
Worse yet, maybe I buy an entire class of character because of that weapon.
Yeah.
Maybe I finally buy into Chain Runeblade, or I buy into Viscera, or whatever it is, or trade into it, and like that could just be devastating. So
I get that.
If you have a hunch you might need to ban something, I would rather aggressively ban it than retroactively ban it in a collectible world. Now that said,
and that's an unusual choice, I feel like, for a publisher to make. I feel like usually these kinds of things, and our experience with primarily FFG the past 10 years is not indicative of like collectibles in general, which are run quite a bit differently. But at least in my experience, most of the time there's an uprising, there's an outcry, there's a degenerate metagame for quite a while, and then the OP team or the design team is like, oh, okay, like given that we've seen so much data and so much player feedback, we're going to go ahead and ban this.
Yeah.
So to do that proactively without any feedback from probably except for playtesters is really amazing. Like that to me is unnatural. That's unnormal. Well,
and I wouldn't be surprised if, because you have to hit print on this thing months ago, right?
Yeah.
So the playtesters and the developers can play with all these cards for months after the fact you've already committed to printing it.
Yeah.
Before it even comes out, which shows me that's what they're doing. But even in the article, it's really cool to see a publisher proactively try to solve a problem, communicate honestly about it.
Yeah.
Literally, it was like ashamed
That was really
that
nice.
This happened.
I mean, it wasn't really hard up for them to feel shame or anything, but it was just nice to hear that like, hey, like we just messed this one up. We're not even going to really try to sugarcoat it.
If you open a box and get a cold foil Duskblade as your cold foil, it feels nice knowing that they at least feel like something went wrong.
Sorry, yeah.
But it's a tale as old as time, honestly, which is in both Seeds of Agony cases. Apparently, according to that article, it cost 1 resource until very late in the testing, and they shifted it down to 0. To help chain out in sealed and
now
draft.
That is a better question about the testing process, is it not? Like that's always going to be a weird balance to try to reach between sealed and non-sealed.
Yeah, and the difference between 0 and 1 is significant, but also there's no lever in between, right? So if at 1 cost it's like a little too expensive, 0.5. You have that granularity, the simplicity of a 1, 2, 3 pitch system. Also sometimes restricts you because you can't have like a half cost, right? You can have a conditional cost.
Throw some text on that bad boy.
That's
if this
exactly
is your second seeds during the turn, gain a resource.
Yeah.
You could do it. It's
or
clunky,
this costs 1 less resource if it's your first non-attack action this turn.
Right. Those kinds of things.
We're not designers here. But all that said, that happened. It's not great that you have to do that. But honestly, given that we are, what set is this? 5 sets in.
That's crazy. It still feels like it's my first rodeo with this thing.
It
feels like
early,
I just started,
right? Yeah. So we're about 2 years into the game, and they've essentially had to ban 2 cards. That is really 9 copies of a card. Drone of Brutality was another one. And then the Duskblade. So 3 total cards.
You know what's great? Put that into perspective. I think the 5th set of Star Wars Destiny came out on year 7. Is that about right? I feel like the pacing of that game... We got the 5th...
What did you say?
We got the 5th Destiny set about year 7. So this one, while we have the same amount of sets, it's just happening so much faster. It's like a consistent release schedule. It's just like blowing my mind.
What has happened? And we had the big Crucible Monarch gap, right?
Yeah, that was a huge gap. I was worried during that gap, and look at us now.
Monarch,
now we're in Aria.
Look at the two
it's already
of us. Did you ever expect
So
the other thing about Destiny, and this is actually a good parallel, right? When you're talking about how publishers are handling themselves, and this is probably going to eventually be a podcast topic. But
it's a shame we didn't play Magic a lot, in some ways, just because it's obviously the most.
You have a bunch of examples.
Comparative thing to compare things to.
As an example of how this could have gone.
Over here in our ignorance.
Destiny releases the first set.
Hipsters.
There's a problem combo, right? And the answer is release the next set.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So release the next set. It's like there's more problems.
Yeah.
Now, okay.
Did the second set fix the first problem?
No, just added more.
It was
glorious. Yeah. How about we have 4-speed? Yeah, that'll fix things. Anyways. Don't get me started on Destiny.
I even wrote a blog. I even helped him out with a blog.
Yeah.
Did I not?
Yeah. I know.
I said, this is not the spirit of the game we want to pursue. And then the next set, what happens?
Well, and then they put the third set out, right? So we're a year into the game. Put the third set out. And then now they release something that's just totally fundamentally busted, right?
Yeah.
And like a month and a half, 2 months later, they finally is like, okay, here's the errata and the point system and whatever. Point being, it wasn't proactive at all. Specifically, we had months of us awful meta because of it.
Yeah.
And then it was retroactive, but they kept stacking on the problems, right? So it at least seems like acknowledging we messed up, here's how we messed up. We're going to make sure this doesn't happen again in the future. And the reality is when you're 200, 300 cards every 3 or 4 months, things are going to get through. You have 1,000 people playing and a handful of people testing and developing. But it seems like the system is designed and the sets and cards are designed in a way that at least even Duskblade to me was not like the fact that those were banned, it was fine.
Yeah, it wasn't like Falcon loop combo, your opponent never plays the game kind of stuff. Yeah. It was just like, the numbers too good on this.
But like you look at the top 8, and 5 out of 8 I think were Chain at the Colony in Vegas. Chain didn't win. There's answers there. But ultimately he did create a time clock on the game that we'll see. I don't know if Seeds of Agony how much that truly rocks the foundation. But I assume he'll start playing a little more like a normal character.
Yeah, which is cool. Because, I mean, you have to, when you go in retrospect, like just building this Bolton deck for, just in case I don't hit the day 2 in Dallas of Aria Sealed. Just in case.
You gotta be ready.
Just in case.
But you know what, you're going to do it.
But going into that and then realizing how much of the previous constructed season was about the first 5 turns of the game is liberating to go into deck building and be like, wait a minute, I don't have to I don't have to pour gasoline on my deck and set it on fire for the first 5 turns, or I just lose the tournament.
Yeah, I went to the first road of Nationals, and it was very clear that you have 5 to 7 turns.
Yeah. AC.
It was also very clear that we left the AC on. That's my bad. But you essentially have 5 to 7 turns before Chain, because of his shackles, is bringing so much heat you just can't do anything about it. So you essentially have to have him on game point at that point, or have hit effects that he has to block.
What?
By turn 5.
Coming to him straight from the wind tunnel.
And if you didn't, well, your deck was too slow. So that's why if you remove him, a lot of decks could keep up, right? Like I felt like my Viscera deck could keep up. There was a Katsu deck that can keep up. I think Prism can obviously control the meta. The Mirror is interesting. Apparently it's agonizing for everybody involved. But all that to say, was it necessary? I don't know. Am I happy that Chain took a hit? Yeah.
Doesn't the design generally just seem like a better safe than sorry approach in everything?
Even Drone of Brutality, right?
Yeah. Like, and even just the fact that a great number of cards are 1 point off of anything. It's like either a little less defense, a little more offense, or add an effect, a little less offense. Those kinds of things where it's like there's so much conservative design philosophy in the game itself that actually seeing that translated into the banning philosophy and the organized play philosophy is quite nice, because there's a through line across all of that, which I really appreciate seeing. Question for you, interview style. First of all, a note from our sponsors, Now Team in the USA, 100% HDPE food grade plastic. Water your brain, water your life, hydro brain, hydro life. Take a drink of water with us, everybody. Let's enjoy the fruits of Mother Earth, the life-giving essence of this beautiful planet.
Hydrogen and oxygen. It's as simple as that.
Here's what you do. You take 2 hydrogen molecules.
2 of those.
You smash them with an oxygen, and boom, we have life on the planet. Question for you. Is Chain still a contender in the new meta? First question.
I think there's probably a way to play him well enough to still do very well with Chain, yes. Okay. Like, I was on that early, and people were like, that's not what you do with Chain. Which is, I was stacking the bottom of my deck. I was playing Dimensional Crossroads, or whatever it is. Dimensional
Crossroads. The Yithian Crossroads.
Yeah, the Cthulhian Crossroads. There it is. But, and it's a slower build, right? And then you build up, and you have this crazy end game. And he has on-tap Go again.
He has on-tap Go again, and he's getting extra cards in his hand every turn.
Yeah. So
it seems fundamentally okay.
I think he'll be... It's just the difference was before, he knew by turn 6 or 7 he was putting enough pressure on that your opponent had to be doing something insane, or he's just going to steamroll you.
Yeah. So now, I mean, you just are like, well, maybe by turn 6 or 7, I'm on Shackle 4. Like, just depends on, did I need to go again on a specific turn? Or maybe I'm it's blocking a little bit more.
You get to 2 or 3 shackles and hang out.
Yeah, you could just hang, right? I'll take 3 extra cards in my hand, or 2, average.
1.
1 extra card every time. I mean, the power level of the cards is not terribly low, so let's go. Second question. We already have a system where heroes get...
Brendan thinks it's unlikely.
Yeah,
being the Chain Savant. Well, you've just been used to the easy streets.
Is that Brendan?
Yeah, 50
But
Shades.
Brendan doesn't know anything.
Yeah, I agree, actually.
I listened to some of their podcasts. The Arsenal Pass is what we're talking about.
Isn't it technically Pass Arsenal?
That's kind of maybe the formal name. Is that right?
That's what you do at the end of your turn. Is you pass, then I
get
Arsenal.
You know what? That's a good question, because I actually had that thought. So both players pass, which means you do the end phase, wherein you can put a card in the arsenal.
There's no passing at that point.
You really don't, but there's kind of a formality to it where you're saying my turn is now over. I'm passing it back over to you.
Instead of it being like pass as an official pass my action, it's
there's
like
not a priority.
Pass it to you.
Yeah, pass it to over to you. To you. Check. But also, I watched a bunch of their videos, and they were saying all sorts of things about like important concepts and like, you know, how to pitch well and how to play a deck appropriately. And it was just very much not in line with the way that I've been playing. Therefore, it must be wrong. So
natural conclusion.
As somebody who went 2-2 with Azalea at the calling, I think I have a pretty good box to be standing on here.
The question for me is, and I'm going to ask you a question. So all this talk, right, tells me, all right, 3 new heroes about ice.
Yeah.
And the game's slowing down, and Chain get in the van, so like surely the game's gonna slow down. But I'm just looking at it, and there's 2 heroes out of 15 that can even play ice cards.
Right.
And even then, as like a Bravo player, for example, I'm looking at it, it's like 1 or 2 extra resources doesn't change most of my turns.
Yeah.
And Bravo seems good. Bravo seems like he got some good stuff.
I don't understand the design of Bravo. Just the design of Bravo destroys me as a human being and as a Fab player, but primarily as a human being. There's something about the essence of that design. Every time I look at it, I'm like, how are you doing everything so well?
That's the magic of Bravo,
all
dude.
of the time. And now you've got this hammer shield thing.
It's great.
Where even the one loss that you had to Dash is an LOL match now.
Yeah, and we just get Terra Sunder because it's good.
Terra Sunder. Like that one
YOLO
time
good times.
when Zach was trying to be like, well, it's not that good.
Hey, to be fair, I was totally right on the Valiant Dynamo math.
That's true. I'm still trying to run that card.
I'm onto something. I think it's good. It wasn't as crazy as I first thought it was. By the time I was figuring, no, Terra Sunder, great card. But it's just at the top of the list, right? It's not like what's a good example? Like I don't know. There's cards that are the best cards. Terra Sunder is one of the Guardian's best cards.
Yeah,
undoubtedly.
Yeah.
But like, is it Duskblade good? Like,
clearly not.
Duskblade to me was like it's a
that's kind of like just an always-on situation. Any of the equipment is particularly problematic, where it's like just always available. So you were going to ask me about ice, but I have a better question for you.
Oh no!
So we'll have to pass.
You stole my question.
Seriously, Arsenal Pass is phenomenal. It's really good. So if you guys are actually looking, that's a complete joke. If you guys I have been consuming it in a very real way because I want to get better at the game, but. We already have a system whereby heroes rotate out of the format given the points that they accrue by being too good. So how do you have alongside that mechanisms that are making the hero less good? Isn't there already a solution to not need things like banning? Duskblade Chain goes crazy for 3 months and boom, out of there.
Well, I mean, if he's any good at all still, he'll still keep he's already halfway to rotating.
Yeah.
So now the way they're doing the point system, if he's doing decently well, like Road to Nationals and stuff, he's going to keep stacking up points.
So basically, they'll keep trying to bring him down, but if he continues to go, then it's like, oh, the hero's just too good, got to rotate him.
I think it's more than just the hero being too good. It's that seemingly, to me at least, was the North Star deck that fundamentally made the game 5 to 8 turns.
Yeah.
But I was starting to think in terms of cards aren't good if they don't fit into that strategy. And if you take him out, you can play a rush deck with Katsu or Viscera or whoever. Even Prism can play Aggro Herald, do the thing, and she might win in 5 turns. But like, if you totally remove any of the characters that need to play fundamentals, stretch a game to 12 or 15 turns to actually have a chance at winning, they kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
Like in that style of play.
Yeah.
Was and the only reason Bravo kept up, because that is his style of play, is he had hit effects that were particularly good against that.
Right.
So, and it's just a YOLO chance, right? If on turn 5 I have Spinal Crush and I can swing at you as Chain, okay, good.
I've played that game.
If I have 4 blue attacks that aren't that good,
I played that game.
I get steamrolled.
Yeah. Sometimes you draw that red in the ledger. Sometimes you die.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. And so you ride the lightning there. So anyway, let's talk about ice. Let's get the bans. Ultimately, I think wrapping that up. There's not a whole lot to say that hasn't been said by people who have probably a lot more at stake in terms of the metagame and kind of where their decks are now and the competitive scene and all of that. I think just from an observation design perspective on this, I like the philosophy behind the design team currently in both the card pool that I'm seeing and in the proactive and reason-based banning structure that they have, where they can consider the outcome of something before it has to be proven fully in the public square.
Yeah.
Which I really dig. And so like Seeds was kind of a retroactive, like, okay, we saw that Chain at the Calling was like 1 billion% of the meta. We're going to take a reactive step to that. And at the same time, we're going to look forward and say we're taking a proactive step on a card that is also now well over the curve that we've built for the game.
Yeah.
So I can't complain.
Yeah, I agree there. I also think the communication, the speed at which they did it is the notable piece for me.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, it's fine. And the thing I said earlier is still true. You can always unban cards.
Yeah.
So if taking away seeds makes Chain unplayable, they can throw it back in at some point.
Throw a little Dusk in there.
Hey.
Yeah, maybe.
So on the Duskblade, regardless of the mechanics, I'm just sad because that sword looks awesome. I also love the idea of the opposite of the Dawnblade. Like the warrior / runeblade light dark opposite thing. Very appealing to me. And so like that's why I'm most sad. So I hope we either get a Duskblade or it gets unbanned at some point.
In meantime, if I never see another Runeblade in my life, I'll be happy about it. Why are we celebrating this class that is built entirely around things that you're doing on your turn that your opponent can't do anything about?
You can block.
Non-attack action, stack up these little magic.
Would you rather play against a Runeblade or a Wizard?
Missiles, and then here they all come, and then there you go. Can you block 50 arcane damage?
That's only Viscera. He's the one that stacks up the rune chance. Chain's just got hands for days.
Every one of them's been a problem.
Viscera's a problem?
Maybe Runeblade's the problem.
I don't feel that way.
I say ban Runeblade.
Get
him out of here.
Gall is green, so it's death to Runeblade.
Can't we just swing weapons at each other and not have to do all this fancy maneuvering?
Before we get to the next piece of the conversation, I want to talk about Ice. Then we're going to be diving into Sealed, as the title of the video promised, which, sorry about that. Before that, though, PSA, Sealed Saturday, coming up October 9th in Tulsa.
We're blowing that up. Let me actually, hold on. I'm going to pull up the thing.
So, in case you weren't paying attention, we're adding a lot of, or announcing a lot of prizes, including a golden ticket.
Come to Tulsa.
Which is worth entry into any calling event. If you've already registered, you'll get your, a refund.
Maybe. We don't know that. Do you know that?
I thought that was confirmed.
So, they said that you have to check with old Fireball about that. They were probably fairly certain that they would grant a refund if you had the golden ticket.
Oh, I thought that was confirmed.
It's not confirmed. What is confirmed is that it's good for, now this is confirmed, but we've had things confirmed before in this industry, right? So like the person I was talking to at the time confirmed the following. The golden ticket is free entry into any calling forever. So not just this year.
Oh, really?
Not just next year.
That's a heck of a golden ticket.
Any calling event ever.
So someone at random is going to get that.
Someone at random will get a free, it's a $100 value.
A ton of other random prizes.
Buy my book.
There's a Lord of Wind playmat and a, what's the art I love of Duranthea so much? Glisten?
So the Twinning Blade? Like the alt art one? The double?
No, that is also awesome. The blade in the middle with the light.
Oh, Glint the Quicksilver.
Glint the Quicksilver. Yeah. Art on it. We have playmats from more recent armored kits. We have the cold foil weapons from the first two sets. We have Rainbow Heroes from Welcome to Wraith, and a bunch of other stuff. So, and it's all mostly participation based and random. So, top 8 is going to do a first edition Tales of Aria draft, which will be fun. But pretty much everything else is just random prizes that are happening. So, if you want to practice for Dallas, I also know people that can't make it to Dallas that are coming to this.
Yeah, great.
Just based on the weekend and stuff. It's going to be a great time. If you're new-ish to the game and anywhere near Tulsa, it's also a great event. It's sealed. You don't need anything. You just show up. If you know loosely how to play, that'll be helpful. But it's a great event for new players as well.
So check this out. So on the 16th, we added the golden ticket. On the 20th, we added 8 cold foil weapons from Welcome to Wraith and Arcane Rising that are given out at random. On the 22nd, we added 5 playmats, at least 5 playmats, including 2 from Welcome to Wraith, like that Katsu one I think we're giving away. And then today, we added 4 Rainbow Foil Hero cards from Welcome to Wraith, Katsu, Duranthea, Rhinar, Brava, going out to random people attending. And will there be more? I don't know. Will there be things we aren't even going to announce? Who knows? Are we going to...
We're not done yet.
Are we going to very much reward anybody who's here?
Yes.
That's right. You heard it here first. So if you're on the fence, just sign up. Let's go.
I
signed up 2 days ago.
That's right. I signed up.
It finally was insurmountable.
Yeah, I must sign up.
I couldn't hold off any longer.
Also worth noting, we got contacted about potentially, is it officially unofficial, hosting a skirmish. The next season skirmish is happening.
Oh, yeah.
So we're working through that. Hopefully we'll get to host it. Working through some logistical things on our end, but stay tuned for that as well.
Yeah, that's we're getting our feet wet again. We're getting back into event hosting and whatnot in preparation for the next store iteration.
I love seeing this. Joe Solo says, the more I watch PC, the more I want to travel or move to Tulsa.
I love Joe Solo so much. From all the comments, catching up. It's good. Hey, welcome to being caught up, Joe. I'm sure it's kind of bizarre watching.
Is he the one that watched them all through? Yeah, welcome, Joe. That's amazing.
Okay.
Ice. So 2 heroes that can play ice.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks the game's going to slow down.
Yeah.
But like...
People say a lot of things, though, don't they?
Here's what I'm looking at. One of those heroes is a ranger.
Excuse me? Can you believe that he just said that?
That's just a statement.
Can you believe... Oh, come on. That's just a statement.
Am I wrong?
One of them
one's
is a ranger.
Okay, so one's a ranger. I'm going to eat my hat on this
That's
someday.
like the just saying thing. I'm just saying.
Not to be offensive, but... So, one's a ranger, right? And one's a guardian. Now, I'll tell you this. Bravo did not get worse. Bravo is also, the other guardian, is really well positioned to deal with ice.
Yeah, Bravo is the meta.
So, my
Get
genuine
ready
question
to go back to the grinder.
is, how big of an impact do we actually think ice is going to have? I think ice is a relevant tool in general if you're playing those heroes. But, like, is it, like, actually meta-defining, meta-shaping, change your deck based on the fact that you might get paired against Old Him or Lexi?
I think it's a Kano situation. Straight up.
You got to respect that it's there.
Yep.
But you aren't going to change a lot.
You are going to change a lot. Or you're going to say, and this is what I did with Bolton, following my trend of just making winning decks worse, is I basically said, okay, so what does this deck actually look like if I just go to a higher resource curve? But Bolton's on 1,000 yellows, so it's like, what if we throw in like 12, 15 blues? Because, your charge attacks go from 2 to 1 or from 3 to 2 or whatever, and it's like, all right, well, maybe that's okay. And then what do you get in response? But I don't think you can just go through most of your matches, not against ice, just with too many resources and lower power cards.
Yeah.
But if you can bake in things to do with that third blue resource that can be an ice situation solver, but also can give you value in other ways, I think it might be worth doing that. That's my approach, at least.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like depends on the deck, but like any explicitly resource cards that you can switch up. But then I think you're right. And the next layer of that is, to me, just having a plan for what you're going to do if you have less resources. If your deck crumbles when you have 1 or 2 less resources in a round, that's a problem, right?
Yeah.
Or that's a problem in those matches, and it's just like my old Bravo Dash match. It's like, well, I'll do my best.
I'm going to lose. Yeah. This boy going to lose.
And it's going to be painful and slow.
Man, people talking about sideboarding 3 energy potions and stuff, and it's like, I mean, sideboard's already tight. And I'm already losing this stuff.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. We're adding new heroes every set.
Yeah, you can't sideboard the world here, so you're just going to have to adapt. I think if you can go to a higher curve, you should. Most of the time, though, I think most of the decks can adapt their play styles to overcome the ice downside. But we will see, won't we?
Yeah, I do think Chain losing seeds probably alone slows the game down.
Yeah.
It allows you to play a slower game.
Aggro Katsu isn't going anywhere either, though.
But, like, Chain is the only one that you can't block effectively after a certain point. Like Katsu, you can, even in the most aggro version, you can block that.
Yeah, you can kind of have a strategy, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Chain, there wasn't really a blocking strategy.
Chain is like, you can block until like turn 6 and then it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Because like they're going to take 10 and then they're going to swing for 82 back at you.
Yeah.
So that inevitability is the trick.
Yeah, the long-term inevitability.
Yeah, and 9 cards that traditionally would be great resources to put on the bottom of your deck that get banished later, that trigger all of your rift binds and everything that you're doing. That's the most clutch card in the deck. So there's a reason it was in 9 of in almost every Chain deck on the planet.
Definitely all eyes on Oldhim for me, I think. I think the Oldhim initial reaction theory is going to be, look at this hero with baked-in defense reactions and all the Guardian cards and ice. It's going to be the slowest, tankiest, controllingest hero in the game. I don't know if that's true. I just don't know, right? We haven't seen what those optimized decks look like yet. And so how you might play around that is still very much in the air. But I do think it wouldn't hurt to have a little more resources floating around, just generally.
Basically play a deck that has a higher resource curve that can do just fine if you get penalized.
Yeah.
With ice, and then it also can play out a full hand otherwise.
Like if I'm trying to beat the meta right now, obviously Bravo looks great. Like, I pay 2 extra resources on my Hammer Seismic Surge turn, and nothing changes.
And man, does Bravo look great.
Cool. And probably, Prism's probably okay. You got enough blues in there, and you're not worried too much about your resource curve. And, any hero that I always try to run traps against and failed is probably fine. Because they always had extra money.
Yeah.
So like...
Traps aren't as effective.
Test against Azaria traps, and if you do okay, then you'll be fine against ice.
I'm sure that is a 1-to-1 correlation. Well, hey, you want to dive into some sealed?
Let's look at sealed pools and talk about them.
Okay, so here's the plan. Steve and I are each going to open up 6 packs. We're going to lay out our sealed pools and we're going to talk. There's a lot of good questions about what you're doing, why you're doing it. I'm going to give you 6 packs. If you pull a cold foil, let me know.
Just throw it out.
I opened 1 pack yesterday because Steve was taking pictures of some tokens we're working on. Speaking of tokens, you want to give us the token update?
Yeah, we were hoping / expecting they would be here this week and we'd be launching, but we are not. They were delayed, production reasons, various things were happening on the laser machines, etc. So everything's back to normal, but we, like so much of our lives and our business, we're just waiting on other people.
Always.
So
that's half of it.
Whenever that's done, we'll be right on launch time.
That's right.
So that's kind of what we're just waiting. You're waiting, we're waiting, everybody's waiting. The people producing the tokens are... We're waiting, and now we're back in production.
It's worth hear that crinkle. It's worth noting. Someone asked earlier. Noticed that our website and online says our store is closed. Are we looking for new space? We're actively in the pursuit of buying property and building a space, and that's going to take some time.
Which is a different situation than just renting a new building.
It is different. It comes with its own unique set of challenges and whatnot. So stay tuned. Awesome, we push updates more regularly once some things get finalized. But yeah, we're definitely working towards that consistently. You ready to do this?
Is this going to be? Let us know.
If this down real quick.
Let me know if this is abrasively loud.
Yeah.
On the top.
A few things I want to point out in this first pack that I'm opening. One is the layout of the pack. Loud. Is it loud?
Just a little bit. Hold on. Let me see. I'm going to mess with some stuff, and it's going to be problematic.
Noted.
Problematic.
I'm going to keep going. So the first 5 cards of your pack are going to be commons. And they did something really interesting / clever here. These first 5 cards are mostly going to be element cards or elemental. So like I have this blue Invigorate. And on the bottom you'll see it says elemental action. So it's not a specific element, but it is an elemental card. And can you pop our faces in?
These cards are beautiful.
They are.
For real, though.
There we are.
Oh my God.
But then you'll also notice these borders are really helpful. So if you're sorting a sealed pool, a lot of times you only have so much time to build your deck. So you can quickly sort your cards. And what I normally do is I have a stack of elemental here. And then I put my earth cards, which are green. You can see this red So Tomorrow. And it's got that nice, beautiful green border. And then I put my ice cards, which are blue. So like this blue Chill to the Bone. You'll see the nice blue border. And then I put lightning, which is like reddish yellow, like this red Heaven's Claws. And so I'll sort them very quickly into stacks like this, which will be helpful later for deck building.
Do you go into the classes as well?
Yeah, so the other thing that can happen...
Well, look at that. Ranger Majestic.
Boom.
Well,
just ready,
hello.
ready to seek and destroy.
And a foil Cold Wave. Somebody's saying, hey.
It's a signal. We'll get to that. But the sometimes
I have no idea what you just emoted.
I've noticed that they'll put a class card in these first 5 cards as a common, which is we'll get to the math of why that's.
They did that for the draft, did they not?
Yeah. Then you get to your rare / majestic. So like I got this yellow Snapshot, which is a ranger card. Then I got this beautiful, not really beautiful, but it's a great card. Blue Sting of Sorcery Majestic Runeblade card. Then you're gonna get to your foil, which. I think, as far as I know, the foil doesn't actually replace, like your cold foils replace your equipment slot, not your foil slot, which is different than it used to be.
That is strange.
I got this yellow ball lightning foil, which looks great.
Wait, you got a ball lightning already?
Yep,
You're the worst
really good
thing to happen to sealed. I got a foil and an equipment. Is that weird?
No, that's normal.
Okay.
But when you get a cold foil, it replaces this card.
Okay, got it. I just wasn't listening and then I jumped in.
Yeah, so then I'm sorting by class up here, but you get an equipment card, so I'll put those off to the side. And then you should get 2 cards at the common slot for each class. So when you're done, you're going to have 2 to 4 cards usually for each class. So like I got 2 Guardian cards and 3 of both Ranger and Runeblade. Last card in the pack is going to be a token, and we have a big stack over here for that.
I heard that Veil of Flash isn't very good. Your thoughts? I'm just kidding.
It's very good. Stephen Didion saying there's no equipment slot in
What's up, Stephen?
So there is an equipment slot.
I talked to Stephen for a long time at the calling.
But the equipment slot can be replaced by amulets. It can also be replaced by cold foils. So just buyer beware of that. So I sort in this way, and I just make stacks really quickly, and then that way I can actually look at my pool of cards and figure out what I want to play, which we'll be talking about general strategy on all that shortly. How's it going over there?
Well,
fancy?
you know, I hate to say it, but ice is looking pretty solid. I'm trying not to think about Ranger. I'm just trying.
Why? Poor K.
Because I've been hurt.
My equipment is on
But
fire.
I definitely feel like all my Runeblade stuff is awesome, but also Runeblade in general is just awesome, so it's hard to separate the two for me.
I definitely feel like in Sealed, they're like key cards that you're looking for, both in the elemental and in your class.
Like, they're just giving you heat. But again, Runeblade is nothing but heat in this set, so it's kind of hard to... It's like all these brambles.
Always heat.
And I feel like you need pumps in Lexi. Like, didn't we decide that was one of the big things?
I mean, I haven't really figured out Lexi and Sealed, honestly. But it feels like the way she wins, asking the funniest question of how you win the game.
Shout out to Brendan there.
Briar has arcane damage. Guardian / Oldhim has Dominate. / he can try to wear you down. And then Lexi has Dominate through her bow.
Lightning Press is notable. So it's basically Dominate and Arcane damage are
Your unpreventable damage.
your unpreventable. My gosh. I'm going to have to play this stupid Runeblade.
Man,
I can't wait.
Well,
There's a foil Electrify. That's beautiful. You know what the thing is? I think all of these are good. It's all good.
the set looks great. I'll say that
Just so many red Runeblade cards. Just so good.
much. There's another ball of lightning. Prepare thyself.
You got 2 already.
Yep. I mean, I've opened all my packs at this point. Oh my goodness.
What'd you get?
Look at that shield.
Oh,
Yes.
bing, bada boom.
I have several people in my life that are going to want that. This is the second shield I've gotten.
Okay.
I have several
Is that
people in
one
my
mine, I
life
guess,
that are
or-
going to want this. That's a good one to get, too.
That's
I love
that's
this
an
card.
absolutely gorgeous card.
Yeah, sorry, Bryce. I didn't say the name. Rampart of the Ram's Head.
That's
I
incredible.
was asking. Woo!
Well done.
That's a
Hey,
heat.
yeah. Oh, red ball lightning. There we go. So here we go.
Who
I'll
knows?
also get some polls.
Maybe now I must play Oldhim.
That shield is kind of garbagey and sealed, isn't it?
It is. So, I mean, it's not garbagey. It's better than not having the open hand slot that you would otherwise have.
Yeah.
But it's obviously way better constructed. Obsidian. Oh my God. David
Expose the element.
Cornwell got those magic hands. Yeah, the hot hands are
It's
real.
serious. It's a serious thing. I'll just be over here pulling my cards.
Oh my goodness, it looks so good. Look at this thing.
It's so good.
Just
Yeah.
so
It's so good. And like, oh, this is what Guardian needed.
Oh my goodness. You love to see it.
Can we build a couple of decks out of the same pool and try it a bunch of different ways?
We should do that, absolutely. I think that's one of the... So I've been having my own sealed Saturdays, my jam sessions, and you learn a lot. Like I was even just... There were pools where it's like, clearly I would play Briar here if I was in a live event. I also... Runeblade's really good. I play a lot of Runeblade. I also think Runeblade in this set is the most easiest to appreciate how to play in a good way.
Okay, that's good.
I feel like good players with Oldhim and Lexi, I haven't unlocked it yet, right? I feel more comfortable with Oldhim. I also play Guardian. But the skill ceiling, like I played my first game with Lexi, and I was just like, oh my goodness. Because it's...
Bring it on, man. I'll do it.
It's the complex math of Ranger, right?
Yeah, complex is a really clever way of putting that.
Well, it's just like, it's difficult.
Yeah, it's a very
string those terms
fancy
together.
way to do a mediocre job.
Well, that's the trap. Is a lot of times you can do a lot of work to do something that's just medium.
Exactly.
But then you add on top of that the fusion mechanic, and now you need even more cards, right? So you have to load the arrow, you have to shoot the arrow, you have to fuse it. A lot of times you have to pay, right? So like you have to pitch, have an arrow, and have a fusion card.
Right.
Just to shoot an arrow. So like as an example, let's just grab one at random.
I mean, just to shoot a freaking arrow.
Let's look at Blizzard Bolt.
Yellow.
So yellow. 1 cost for 4 damage. If it was fused, when an attack does damage to a hero this turn, create a frostbite token.
It's like you're gonna get more than one, maybe more, maybe you get two, maybe you get two.
But the problem in sealed is you're probably not shooting a second arrow.
Yeah, right.
Because unless you also have a way to reload, you don't have the New Horizons equipment most of the time. So like you only have one arsenal slot. So it's not like you can preload one,
right,
and then like load another one and shoot them both in the same turn. So then you actually because this does apply to any attack, right?
Are there any lightning arrows that have go? There's ways to give go again. So you could put something down and then it has go again, and then you shoot it, and then you load it, and then you shoot it. There's plays like that, surely.
The problem is that there are no lightning arrows. First off.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're arrows that you fuse with lightning.
Yeah.
But like, if you need this one to play, if you need to play this first to get this ability, you have to be able to do something after the fact. So you need to give this go again. Right.
Or like you have Dazzling Crescendo in Arsenal. You play it, you fuse it to give it go again, then you load with Shiver, and then you shoot a second one. But this is your first arrow is garbage.
Wouldn't you have to... You can't have this in Arsenal when you're shooting this.
No. You have to shoot this one, give it go again, and then load this one, and then shoot it. But getting this as the first arrow, I think is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's difficult. Yeah.
So in this case,
how do you even do that?
You would have to have a 3-card hand to do a 4 damage attack that if it hits does something that may not even matter.
Yeah.
So like a lot of times, someone will block this for 3, take 1, get a frost token, and then they had an extra resource floating anyway. So it's just a lot of work, and like... I don't exactly know how that's supposed to go for Ranger, so we'll figure that out.
We'll solve it.
So now that I have my cards sorted, can't believe this Ram's
do?
head sitting over here.
This is crazy. I've got crazy cards.
Here's where I start. I look at my equipment.
Okay.
Right? Deep blue, generic equipment, amazing card. Let you turn any card basically into a blue.
That's the goat of equipment right there.
Yep. Cracker Jacks is a really good generic arms equipment.
Oh, but you got Mark of Lightning maybe too.
Now, that's really interesting, right? That's a good comparison. So Cracker Jack's phenomenal to me in Guardian because of Thump.
Yeah,
so it's an immediate great play.
You know what's funny too? I was listening to Brendan, just to see how wrong he was. And then
just shade. Nothing but shade, man.
Was talking about how miss the discard effect on Thump. I did the same thing. I think I played
thought it was extra tech.
I think I played it literally the entire pre-release weekend.
The premiere.
With no discard effect.
I literally, my first round opponent, I was playing Oldhim, and I used Cracker Jacks. They went first, and then I was going. I used Cracker Jacks that first turn.
Yeah.
And it was like 6 would dominate, and they didn't know it discarded.
Yeah.
So they were like, no block. So
6/6.
You go to 14. I'm like, all right, now discard a card. And they're like, what?
Yeah,
it was Briar. So they were like,
what is it?
They needed that card, right?
What is it about that card?
Anyways.
Mark of Lightning, okay.
So the Mark of Lightning is a really good card, particularly if you have the Ball Lightnings, because if your opponent blocks Ball Lightning, you trigger this, and it's 2 damage, they can't do anything about it. So an auto 2 damage out of 20 health is a lot. I got 2 notable pieces of equipment. So I got Sutcliffe's suede shoes.
I see. So basically, Mark of Lightning with a compounding lightning effect that's saying if you deal damage, deal additional damage is better than Cracker Jacks. Otherwise, Cracker Jacks is probably strictly better. As just both of them are giving you +1 damage.
Yeah. Now that said, if you have cards that like this Blizzard Bolt, whenever an attack deals damage, it's not when it hits. So hits has to come from the yellow attack value happening. So being able to sneak damage in for hit effects like that, Ball Lightning's 1, and both Lightning heroes have cards that play off of
So you play Mark unless you're playing Guardian.
Yeah, or you can look at your cards and see if Cracker Jacks even matters, right?
Yeah.
But equipment to me can signal where you really need to start looking. As an example, I got these Sutcliffe suede shoes.
Oh, come on, you did?
Yeah. Which is a really great equipment piece.
Is that common?
Yeah. So you destroy it, target attack action gets go again, activate only if you played non-attack. So that's a free go again. Particularly good with her weapon, Rosetta Thorn, right? If you play an attack and a non-attack, you can swing for 2 arcane and 2 regular damage. Great piece of equipment.
You realize how much better that is than Perch Grapplers?
Yes. As a common.
How does that happen?
But it doesn't block for 2. You're
so good at trolling me like that.
It's
so good.
It's just built in, man. I'm not even trying. I'm not even sweating over here. Then I got 2 Coat of Frost. So if it gets cold, I'll be really, really prepared. That's a really good equipment if you're going ice, of course. I did get deep blue. So if on the value exchange, this would immediately make me think I'm going to play Guardian or Runeblade. I didn't get the lightning equipment right. I haven't even looked at my pool yet, right? But just basic look. Anytime I get the suede shoes, I'm now looking at Briar very seriously.
You also got this red ball lightning staring you down, so that probably doesn't hurt anything.
Well,
either.
we'll get to that evaluation in a second. The next thing I do is I'm just literally looking at the size of these stacks. Look at this.
I got some hot garbage equipment over here.
So I got the least Ranger cards. That's the class I have the least of.
That's
I have
convenient.
the most Earth cards and the least Ice cards.
Look at you. Look, you're just doing a little visual.
Yep.
Hey, how are you?
Just to start giving me some hints.
Do I not look dead in the water equal? Is there a little bit more Lexi there?
You have more Lexi. The least you have is Guardian.
Yeah.
The other two are pretty similar.
So this is really the key to sealed. You really just gotta. This is what Arsenal Pass won't tell you. You lay out your cards, and then it looks. Actually, I think I only have like one less Guardian card.
We can count it out.
Ah, math.
But again, this is just a basic looking very quickly to start understanding where I want to even be thinking about. That said, I have like double the Earth cards than I do in the other two. But I could have a bunch of Earth cards that aren't that good. So that's the next phase of this, right? But inherently, I'm already looking, and like I have way more options if I go Guardian or Runeblade because I have the most Earth cards and those class cards combined.
Yeah, so it's a good place to kind
My
of start
equipment
thinking.
also points me in that direction, right? So we'll keep that in mind.
It's like these pools are built for you. See, here's what I did, man, in that thrilling 402 run that I had on the pre-release. My first thing is like, what are my best cards, right? Like even just looking at your reds that are coming into the party.
Red Rights of Lightning.
I know, like this is all just crazy.
Red Ball Lightning. Mm-hmm. Those are good cards.
Yeah, so you get to this phase of it and you're like, oh, okay. Well, we've got all these cards, and these are all pretty good cards here.
2 Brambles first, okay.
Yeah, Arcanic, the rights there on yellow. And then you got some blues, and blues are fine. You don't hate to see blue. The blue Sigil of Suffering is actually quite hilarious. Still useful. But then if you do the same thing for Lexi, if you actually look at like, okay, well, where are my reds? Like, where are my highest payoff cards? You like see immediately look at the difference in that. Those are only 4 reds in Lexi.
Mm-hmm.
So you're already kind of just like, well, regardless of how many cards I have here, like I have a lot more heat here in the red most effective cards that I can play
you would assume,
in this
right?
class. So it starts to look a lot better. Now, Guardian has a little bit of play on that math because you're kind of looking for blues in a lot of ways, like getting those blues to power those defense reactions and the hammer. So it's not quite that linear, but even in Guardian, I mean, I would even go so far as to look at how many of like the Glacial Footsteps and the Thumps do I have. Binding Gale's a pretty good little option there. Entangle's good, Glacial's good, Mulch is good, Entangle, 2 red Entangles, what's up? A red Thump. Emerging Avalanche is worth noting.
So I think one thing opening packs all weekend that started becoming pretty obvious to me is like, you obviously get the most commons. This is not rocket science. But there are certain commons that are way higher value than others. So as an example, in Guardian, you nailed it. Particularly to me, Glacial Footsteps and Thump are the 2 most important cards because that's your win condition.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 things that'll bring Dominate to you. And then along with Thump, the Emerging Avalanche. So there's 2 pumps in Guardian in this set, particularly. Mm-hmm. There's Emerging Avalanche and then like the Strength of Sequoia. Avalanche is the Ice Fusion. Sequoia is the Earth Fusion. Sequoia, when you fuse it, you get a Seismic Surge token. Deal Sarge. Or Emerging Avalanche gives them a Frostbite token.
Yep.
The Emerging Avalanche to me is far better.
Way better.
Like just
way better.
Far better.
Yeah.
So that said, I'm literally, when I go through my Guardian stack, first test for me is how many Emerging Avalanches do I have? How many Glacial Footsteps do I have? And how many Thumps do I have?
Mulch is okay, but those 4 costers are very difficult.
No, it'll probably go in your deck, right? But it's not like gonna make or break it. So I have 1 Thump, 3 Glacial Footsteps, right? And 1 Emerging Avalanche. So then I would have to look and say, look at my ice cards, because that's what both these, my 2 favorite cards here require. And particularly blues. I have literally 1 blue ice card.
Yeah.
So this is a problem.
Yeah.
It's immediately
you just pass on it. Yeah, you gotta pass on it.
So there are these little tests you can run for each hero, and it's not there are probably exceptions to these rules, right? Even when I'm looking at Lexi, number one card for me, Overflex.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it? Yeah, pump on.
Specifically because if you can pump, you can play Dominate, right? Then to your absolute point, then I grab my red arrows. Just see how many I have. Look at this. I have 3 red arrows.
Yeah, what are they doing to us?
So then I look at my blues.
Why even bother? I mean, if you only have 3 red arrows, you're not going to be outputting enough damage.
So, and these are all 2 and 3 damage, right?
You just won't.
So like it gets questionable very fast. I only have 2 overflexes.
I would need to have like 4 pumps, 4+ pumps, and at least 6 to 8 solid red arrows, I feel like, to go Lexi.
Yeah.
Strictly. I would need this pool in Lexi to go there.
And even then, it's interesting. It's such a restriction. It's so hard to fuse those things to get anything going.
I'll play that game.
It is worth trying just to see it, right? Yeah, there are other pumps. Those are the ones I'm looking for. So then you get to Briar, and I'm looking at these cards, and there's a handful of like particularly good ones to me. Sigil of Suffering, blue is fine, but yellow and red are really good.
Yeah.
Blocking for basically a 0 for 4 or 0 for 5 curve that they can't do anything about.
The blue, I think the blue is totally acceptable because you can pitch that down, second cycle it, and do that last arcane damage.
I have won many sealed games at pre-releases from that exact thing. Rites of Lightning, it's a rare, but that is a crazy card. Crazy. So if you fuse it with lightning, it does an arcane damage.
This red one would be a pretty good one, hey?
So good. And if you've done arcane damage, it gets go again. And a go again on attack really means that your non-attack action, play Rites of Lightning, fuse it, swing the sword. And those are awesome turns every time. So the other thing I'm looking for generically is go again attacks if possible, and then arcane damage.
Yeah.
And like Vela Flash is a unique bird because it
kind of is a go again attack, yeah?
It lets you play a non-attack, which it presumably has go again, which lets you actually swing the sword. But I'm literally just totally up, and this is a card I want to talk about in a second, Inspire Lightning. Let's pull up the red version of that. And I'm counting. Stir the Wildwood's a really good card. Side note.
I like the art of the promo better.
Mm-hmm. But if you count, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 arcane damage. If you don't count Inspire Lightning, there it is.
Beautiful.
Promos.
Sorry. I know many of you probably would love to have them and didn't get in. I'm sorry.
Eek.
I'm sorry.
So Inspire Lightning is really... I was really excited about this card at first, just as arcane damage, and then over time, I got colder on it.
Yeah.
Because you have to have it, you have to pitch, and you have to fuse to do this. So it's a 3-card hand, and the red one's only doing 3 arcane damage, which seems like a lot.
Yeah, it does.
But like...
But in the grand scope of the game, it's not at all.
No.
But maybe you pitch it down. It's one of those weird, like...
You can finish a game with it.
Finish the game with the... It just depends on how much you want to play to fundies and how much you want to be goofy.
But if you're pitching it down... By the time you get to it, you're probably in a grindier situation.
Yeah, you can't take the swing.
You can't take the hit.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times this ends up being a 2-block. And it is a non-attack action, so you can block with it with your embodiment of earth tokens if you have a couple of those. But I found I usually have a better play than this card. And I usually pitch it and then I have it late, and it's just not great late.
Yeah, I feel that.
So it's a weird card. Anyway, so I'm looking, and I literally have 3, 6, 7 cards that do arcane damage. I have 1 Rites of Lightning. I also have a Vela Flash, which is low. I guess 8 with Sigil of Suffering yellow. But then I did get this Sting of Sorcery.
Look at how much worse yours is than mine.
It's way worse. Sting of Sorcery is good, though. Attack action cards I control this turn gain, they deal arcane damage. So...
That's pretty good. It's worth 2 to 4, depending on ball lightning situations.
Yep. It could get really weird, right?
To 6, yeah.
So that's when I'm looking at this and like... Lexi was definitely questionable. Guardian was medium.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't making me feel like, oh, I've got the Rock and Seal Bowl. So next thing, though...
So you drop.
You got to look here at your elemental cards.
Yeah, look at the elemental cards. That's what I mean.
Again, you're just kind of on a research fact-finding mission right
Can
now,
we
right?
just appreciate the fact that I only have 6 earth cards?
That's low.
My ice pool and my lightning pool is phenomenal, though.
That's what you love to hear.
Look at this. We got all these Winter's Grasp, Frostfang, just pretty good. But check this out. You're going to be so jelly of this.
I'm already jealous.
Red Entwine.
I can't be that jealous though.
Red Lightning Surge. Look at this Lightning Press.
I'm living the high life over here on Shield Town.
Yellow Lightning Press. 2 Red Entwine Lightnings. A couple of Shock Strikers. Electrify. Heaven's Claws.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
So I'm gonna scope mine out real quick. I think I got 2 copies of Ball Lightning. Red and yellow. Now I will say, Heaven's Claws in Lexi is really good because you can flip it up from Arsenal to give your next thing Go Again, and then play red Heaven's Claws.
It's
1 for
way
5
good.
with Go Again.
Yeah.
Super good. Way less good in Briar, right? Because like ending your turn with this is fine, but you really need to be able to give it Go Again, which can be good.
It's a fuse card too, which is fine. I mean, do you fuse it? Do you usually, if you fuse it, Arsenal it? Is there enough ways in Briar to give that thing Go Again? Your next attack has
You
Go Again?
have to play 2 non-attacks in the same turn, which if you're at 50%, some of your hands are going to have 2. Not all of them are going to have 2 playable, where you also still have this as a card you can play.
You just need like the lightning token. Yeah.
I got 1 yellow Electrify, a red Flash, and then 2 Shock Strikers. This is a really weak lightning pull, actually.
Yeah.
As crazy as it is, I'm leaning Guardian. Specifically,
It's not crazy.
Well, I had a weak Ice Pool, was the crazy part. But I have a ton of Earth cards, so let's see what we got here. Just going to sort these real quick. Earthlore Surge, that's a card I love to see.
They tell me we're not supposed to play Rejuvenate. Is that true?
I don't think that's true at all. An instant that heals you 3?
Costs you 1 though.
Yeah, but you pitch a blue. Like in Briar, I pull that off all the time.
Just gain 3 life.
It's literally a 0 non-attack action into like an Arcanic Shockwave. Fuse it with the other card. Now you've fused. Then pitch the card I just did to gain 3 life.
Well, you could just block for 3 though. Wouldn't you rather be a block 3 card?
Presuming you needed a block.
Yeah.
But also it's a non-attack action, right? So if you play that as an instant, then you might get the token that gives you Go Again.
Oh, okay. Okay, there's a little play in Briar then. Expose the Elements is a great card, but it seems like garbage in...
What's it do?
Actually...
Oh, it's not that good.
Well, it's kind of funny to just snipe a deep blue. Pay 2 or lose it. Nothing has armor, so you just have to fuse it with an ice card, but it costs money, so yeah, I don't know about that.
When I'm looking at the Earth cards too, so you basically have 2 heroes you can play any of these things with, right? In Guardian, blues are nice. Any pumps are nice because it's going to make your thumps playable. And in Briar, non-attack action is what I'm looking for the most.
Yeah.
Which I didn't get a lot of great ones.
Clarify to Deliver Guy, it is a non-attack action being played as an instant, so it still counts as a non-attack action, which is nice.
It still counts. Man, this is a weird sealed pool.
So basically with Briar, you're looking for how many non-attack actions?
15.
Okay.
I'm a 15 and 15 kind of guy. Now, I think 10 is the minimum you really want. You can play with less, but like hands where you draw 4 attacks don't feel good.
Right.
Having at least 1 non-attack opens up that possibility. Cards I really love to see in the non-attack lane / Briar, like any of the lighting cards that can Go Again if you play from Arsenal or if you fuse it. Entwine Lightning, I think is what it's called.
I don't have it.
Nope. Did you get any of the 0 for 4 0 attacks that have Go Again out of lightning?
Oh, you know I did. Yeah. Like that
There's
one?
Entwine Lightning. That's not a lightning card.
Yeah, that's it.
Well.
Entwine Lightning.
Oh my! You have 2 reds. Get out of here.
Lightning Surge, Go Again from
Yep.
Arsenal.
And it's red. Now this is a great Briar
See, and
pull.
this is great too. This is one to keep your eye on in Lexi as well. Although, no, it's not at all. It's completely redundant. Like all Ranger things, you think it's good and then it's not. Shock Striker, 2 of those boys. 4 and a 3. Don't hate that. Electrify, next time an attack action card hits, it deals 3 damage.
That card's so good.
If played from Arsenal, draw a card. What the heck is this card even? How do they print this?
Well, it's Splinter.
And they ban seeds? Yeah, that's true. Heaven's Claws, a couple of those guys, and then a blue Electrify there.
Everything about your pool says Briar. It's like
Yeah, it's just
screaming
like
at me
it's
Briar.
screaming Briar.
Yeah,
That's why I'm
hurts
disgusted
me.
by it.
But
Yeah.
you need to play it so you can learn it, right?
I'm playing it and learning it. That's
All right,
right.
so-
That's what happened. I'm going to get these Ranger cards out of here.
And I'm going to do my best. I'm going to get my Ranger and Lightning out. I'm going to go Guardian. And then I'm going to work through the actual deck process here. So kind of starting back from the top for me, I'm definitely playing all my Glacial Footsteps, my Avalanche, my Thump. Then like a red Entangle, a 3-cost attack that hits for 7, generically, a 2-card hand at 7 is really good in sealed.
Bring it on. 2-card hand for 7 is where it's at. Those 3 for 7s are great.
Yep. Same with Snowed Under, red and yellow. Great. Also, someone mentioned Embolden earlier, and that's a card that I hate to say it, but I can't play it.
Is that the one where you have a thing out and then it has the
If you
thing?
have a non-token or out. In sealed, it's just challenging, to say the least, to actually pull that off. Molt is fine.
There's just not a lot of time in this one to get fancy, you know? Rights, attack, action.
That's awesome to hear, Nathaniel. I'm saying it's really good to see the thought process here. I got my first sealed play tomorrow in an armory with a box on the line.
Yeah, good.
Good luck.
Good.
So the other things I'm considering, I have all the tokens here, by the way, if you need to see them, is this, when I'm playing Oldhim, is Titan's Fist. So once per turn action, attack costs 3, or there's a card that costs 3 or greater in your pitch, it gets +1. So anything that's a blue that costs 3 is immediately very high on my list.
I've also been surprised at how much I don't ever really want to do this. I'm amazed by it.
The hammer?
Yeah. It's basically you oftentimes are losing slowly. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. It's just a feeling, right? I haven't investigated. I'm just saying.
We'll put that feeling to the test.
Just saying.
I'm just saying, dude.
What does that even mean?
No offense.
Just saying.
I said no offense.
Yeah, no offense. So here's something.
Didn't you hear me? I said no.
Here's something for you. Okay, sealed pool. Let's see what's going on here. I'm gonna play the one. Inspire Lightning, and I'm just gonna see how it feels. We're gonna do a test. Bryce, you see Bryce in the chat? Is Guinness Records in the house? How we doing towards cards per minute?
That's funny. Sorry, man.
Big Jim, thoughts on using 2 hammers? Well, that's why they have main hand and offhand, isn't it?
Why in the world would you? I guess in constructed. Is that what you're talking about?
Sure, I mean, you actually could swing them twice if you can give them go again. But I think they have a main hand, offhand rule. I don't know.
Well, it's just a hammer one-handed.
Yeah, but the shield says offhand. Look at your little fancy shield.
I think it's because you can't run 2 shields.
Oh, you think you can run 2? Yeah, I guess you can run 2 hammers.
Just like a Kodachi.
Yeah, that's cool. Let's go. Yeah, but you can run that. You can do that. You can do it. I'm not saying you should. Electrify me. Man, I've just got heat, but my non-attacks are non-existent. That's not important for Briar, right?
You have non-attacks. Look at those things. Electrify? Bramble Spark?
I mean, yeah, I have them. I'm not saying they're completely gone, but like...
That's not an attack, just be aware.
That ball lightning, isn't it?
That's an attack.
It's
that's
so
a 0 for 3 with go again.
I can't believe that card.
Hot diggity dang.
So crazy.
And Right's Lightning's also an attack.
No way.
Yeah.
They all have so much text on them, and yet they're attacks.
Yeah. So this is where you get into. You have some of these generics. Like Invigorate to me is a great.
Invigorate's fine.
Great card
Put it in there.
Particularly because you have 0-cost cards that fuse. So you can like red Invigorate, play Arcanic Lightning, fuse it, and like now it's +4.
Yeah, that's good.
It's insane. It's mostly a non-attack action, but like sometimes you actually pull that off.
It feels like a 0-cost non-attack, even if it doesn't work, is fine.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we've got the maybes here. We got the maybe pile. Oh wait, we're pretty keen on Shock Strikers. How do we feel about that? I don't know. I like the instant. And Heaven's Claws. All right, I'm gonna put these in the talk to some people about those.
Okay.
Earth stuff. So tomorrow I don't really like this. Depends on my Earth fuses. Evergreen, Burgeoning. Hey, I'm looking for, here's a blue Earthlore Surge. Okay, I'll take that one. Autumn's Touch, just more actions, man. Maybe it's time to play Rejuvenate. Well, consider me interested. I think So might have to go in just to hit my non-attack numbers.
I love So in this deck.
Okay.
It's fine to stack the bottom of your deck, but just having non-attack actions, absolutely. And it replaces itself. So also card filtering. Because if you play So from Arsenal, you draw a card.
Yeah.
So it's
but it's not. Yeah. Yeah.
It's definitely in the pocket.
Bring it on. And then we've got Claws. Good 3 defense card. We've got Burgeoning. It's fine. I'm so attack rich already, though. 17 attacks.
How many ball lightnings do you have?
1.
Shock Striker following a ball lightning is pretty interesting. Because if you paid for that ability, it can pop.
Potentially going to happen once.
Yeah, but if you have a 3 ball lightning kind of a situation, it's better.
Yeah.
How many elemental cards do you have for each element?
For fusion, let's just see what needs to fuse.
Yeah, that's the next step.
Right.
There's a lot to balance in this.
Ball. This is going to be my lightning, my need to fuse, and then my fuse cards. Need to fuse, lightning. Need to fuse earth. Need to fuse earth, kind of. It's fine. Arcanic Shockwave, yeah, bring that on. Lightning Fusion everywhere. Let's go. Earth Fusion. If you dealt arcane damage, you may put a non-attack from your graveyard on the bottom of your deck. You put an attack action from your graveyard on the bottom of your deck. Well, okay. 2 for 5 does that. That's okay. It was fused. Yep. Fused. Yeah.
Brett says the hanging camera's shaking a bit. Is it still shaking? Anyone else experiencing shaking?
Is it the table or the camera? Does it look like it's shaking? Is there an earthquake?
Is there something loose? I don't know. It would be weird for somebody to be shaking.
Nothing loose. Unless the whole thing is shaking.
Steven Didion saying it's shaking slightly.
Really? What am I supposed to do about that?
Someone's saying when we touch the table, it's moving?
And we're sure it's not just the table. Hold on. Let me look at the monitor.
It is moving the camera. Oh, is the mic touching the camera?
Yeah, probably.
That's
There we
definitely
go.
what was happening.
All right, everybody going on a crazy ride.
Well, hey, if it's shaking in the future, you'd let us know.
I think somebody said that earlier. I ignored it.
It's not going to shake because we're moving it.
Yeah.
3, 6, 7, 10, 11.
I really want this. Okay. We'll stick there, see what happens. It's gonna shake for a second and then it should level out. Yeah, I don't think it's touching. It was touching the mic, so that's a good reason. Okay. No charge needed there. Man, I've got a lot of fusies. So I've got a ton of lightning fusion, and I've got very little earth fusion. Well, that's actually very convenient. So I just need more lightning cards.
Boom. Yeah. That's kind of the check at the end, right? So I'm looking here. I've got 4 earth cards that I don't even care if I fuse them.
Yeah.
But Oldham's a little different. You want higher elemental counts because of his defense reaction.
Yes. All right, so I'm currently rolling with 4 lightning cards. And I'm really wanting to fuse 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, kind of 10. Do you have a quick fusion ratio?
Say that again?
Fusies to non-fusies? Like, if I have 10 fuse cards, 5 lightning cards?
I usually just play as many of the
Playables?
elemental cards that I can. You just make the best ratio possible.
All right. Well, here they are. Found them.
Because it's also like, depending on what you need to fuse, if you're fusing things that have go again, then you can fuse multiple things with the same card.
Yeah.
Which happens a lot, especially in Moonblade.
Yeah. See, I've only got 4 Fuse Earth cards. 2 of them are Rites of Replenishment, which is an acceptable Fuse card.
So, I don't run that a lot unless it's red.
Yeah, and then
it's fine.
Stir Blue,
also fine. It blocks for 3 and it's blue.
Fine, and then Explosive Growth is the only one that's kind of interesting.
That card's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I don't want to.
But Explosive nicely doesn't require you to fuse to give it the arcane damage.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's still just a great.
So I just include that. I don't even know if Rights goes in.
Yeah,
it's a 3 block.
It ends up not in my stack a lot, like most times.
I'm gonna put Lightning Press in here. That's for dang sure.
I also like Lightning Press. It's lightning and reactions in this format.
Rare.
Very rare. Yeah.
Rare and good. Okay, so we've got this. We've got this. I'll play a 3 block blue. There's so many axes to balance on this game, it's crazy. So then we go to money. How much money does Brad usually need? Is
Not
it
much.
2? Is it just yellow so you can cut some blues?
Most of your, if you look at like this attack stack that you have, I'm going to do 0s and 1s, and then everything else past it. None. So a yellow usually is 2 1-costers for you, or a 1-coster and a sword swing. You also need to look at your non-attacks. So depending on if you have a lot of Bramble Sparks, and it depends on what you're paying, right? Earthlore Surge is a good example if you actually need resources to do that. So a lot of times it's like a non-attack might cost you 1, and then a 1-cost attack, but three resources is rarely going to be needed.
Yeah.
You're going to have a 0 somewhere in the chain.
So the blues are just less reasonable, less needed. Like Stir the Wildwood starts to look weird. It's like, I don't know. I mean, it's fine. I'm decided I'm running the 1 Inspire Lightning, so we're gonna do that. And so tomorrow.
I'm playing the shield. It's not awful.
That's right. That's where we are these days. Not awful.
So the thing about the shield, at least from Oldham, early on I was like, I want all the blues. If I'm going to use the reaction, I'm going to pitch a blue. But the reality of being able to block with like 2 yellows as what you're paying.
Yeah, you're pretty hot to trot on that one.
Or like you have a resource, you block with a shield, pay 1, you have resources floating, and then you can trade the reaction using it plus. It's not awful. I agree with Nick Murphy. Stir the Wildwood is really good.
It's the most expensive card in my entire deck.
Yeah, the red though. The blue is less. It's fine.
I only got the blue.
It's fine.
All right, so I'm gonna look at Curve Town here.
It's cheap.
Because like maybe you end up replacing some of these blues with yellow 3 blocks. I mean,
you're not wrong.
Or you just hold on to the blue. I mean, any yellow useful card, assuming the blue card is not useful and it's just there to be a blue, but I think most of these are going to be pretty tidy.
Yeah.
The claws.
You have a lightning claws. That's one of the best looking foils I've ever seen in a game.
Everything lightning is kind of just flexing.
It's literally made for it. Lore saying I bought my first box and pulled the Heart of Ice. That's a gorgeous card.
No, I love it.
I just can't believe I pulled the shield again. Look at this thing.
I mean, yeah. Proud we are of all of them.
I wonder if they're going to make that in cold gold foil. Because if so, whew, ha! That's going to be a problem. I need to get a nighttime job.
Okay, so I'm kind of down.
My shinies.
I'm kind of down to it here. I don't want Entwine Ice. I don't have any Ice Fusion. It's out. I don't want Entwine Earth, really. I don't have a lot of Earth Fusion going on. My Earth card pool is awful, so Earth Fusion is not interesting to me.
The only Entwine I usually play is Entwine Lightning.
Yeah. Finding a theme with the Lightning cards.
They good.
Rites of Replenishment is fine. 2 for 5 with a potential fuse is not exciting me. I would run this if I needed 3 block resource cards.
Yep. And if you didn't have other cards to be filling that slot.
Stir the Wildwood Blue is going to be in a similar spot for me.
I agree with you.
It maybe is overrides.
Joshua Hogan, I got the Heart of Ice and the shield from the 2 cases I got from you guys. Well, congratulations.
Beautiful. Break ground, blue 2-block, earth action. No one wants this card.
So it's a fine card if you need earth cards.
Yeah, and I don't.
Yeah.
I've got 2 that fuse that matter.
That's like an extra access, right? So it's blue and it blocks your only 2. So it's weak, but it being an earth card, a blue 3-block element
It's great.
is hitting 3
it's
or 4
Heaven's
boxes.
Claws
Yeah.
and Frost attack and all that.
Yeah.
These are both 2 blocks. We got a 3 for 6 earth. Not terrible. I would consider that, but it's also not great. Burgeoning also essentially a 2 for 6, 2 for 5. These 2 blocks, I'm less hot on that, but I'll go to the pile if I need to find slots.
Yeah, like Blue Autumn's Touch, I would rather have. A 3-block blue that's also earth.
100%. These are all my 3 blocks, so like they're like high on the list here if we need more. Questionable cards. Rejuvenate. Need more non-attacks, so that's why it got in there. Invigorate. Non-attack. That's why it's in there. Invigorate. Non-attack. That's why it's in there.
Yep.
Right, so these are the main things. Earthor Surge Blue, I'm not excited about it.
So it being blue and earth, 2 checks, right?
Kind of, but remember, the Earth Fusion is like almost non-existent in this deck.
Okay. The biggest thing for me is it's a non-attack action that's relevant.
Yes.
So like if you have a 0-cost attack in that card
True.
hand,
True.
you pitch the yellow, play the 0, and it's non-attacks are highly valuable here.
And 3 for a card is that's the exchange you're looking for, so that's fine. I think any of the lightning cards I'm playing.
Josh, I don't think we'll be doing any mass box openings down the road.
Let's see how many cards we
None
got here.
planned. That Crucible one was kind of just a exception, not a rule. It was a fun thing to do, and we had the time to do it. But with the pacing of these sets coming out, unlikely. I'll tell you what, though. We can talk about my hot hands all day long. Our hot hands at the pre-releases and premiere were non-existent.
Absolute garbage.
I pulled nothing. I pulled good cards to play in a game, but I didn't pull anything collectible. You know what I mean?
I do.
Literally, the cold foil I got, I went to 2 pre-releases. I drafted at Vegas, and I played Sealed at Vegas. You also played Sealed at Vegas and drafted at Vegas. The cold foil we got, out of all that, cold foil, rotten old, swashbuckler, button, shield. And I pulled a non-foil in the same pool. So it wasn't even like well, at least I got the shield and I have something to do with that slot. I can't think of a more fine card to pull out of a pack than that rotten old buckler.
It's fine.
You know, someone screaming like 5 tables down because they got the fabled, and then you're like, here's my old rotten. It's got rotten in the name. Josh saying, ask them what we have. Tales of Aria singles. We will. That'll be soon. We're the team they're sorting and counting right now. So we'll have those up at market competitive prices very soon.
I'm gonna cut this sigil blue.
Yep.
I don't like it.
It's right on the line. It's like
I cut the rejuvenate, but I'm gonna put it back in.
I like red rejuvenate a lot, especially get that in a even just opening hand. Just play it, gain 3 life, arsenal card. Let's go.
Blue Shock Striker is maybe out. I went ahead and added the Blue Autumn's Touch just to have 1 more Earth for those Bramble Sparks.
I think the thing here is just how many lightning cards do you have?
I've got a good amount. Let's just take a look.
I do think the blue. I think Sigil of Suffering is incredible, but I think the blue is the one that's maybe worth cutting. When you start playing, when it's just super aggro and no one's blocking, okay, it's fine. But when people are I'm playing Old Him, my goal is to be very defensive. We'll see if it works.
8 lightning cards. All right, we probably need to go to 9. Fair. Okay, next up. We like Blue Veil of Flash.
Yep.
We like Blue Arcanic Shockwave.
Absolutely. These are cards that do arcane damage or let you swing the sword.
Yeah.
Swinging the sword being the priority.
And I've never played Briar, so this is going to be... I'm going to learn all these things.
It's good to do. We got a big... So we're going to Dallas.
Everything else is a must-have here.
I'm going to Cincinnati the week after, and it's sealed, so this is relevant. Practice.
Yeah. So what's your cut for Rejuvenate there, since you're hot on the card?
You're gonna We can cut one card.
We can cut one card.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
And it has to be a card that's worse than Red Rejuvenate.
That's what I'm putting all the cards here that aren't worse than that.
And then I'm going to put them in these beautiful copper sleeves that everybody's giving me.
Those are all definitely better.
Everyone's trashing on me for loving these copper sleeves.
In the infamous words of the 2000s, you do you.
Somebody on chat the other day said that I had the ugliest sleeves they'd ever seen.
Really?
Yeah. And you know how I felt about that? I felt nothing.
They obviously weren't playing card games in the 90s and 2000s.
Yeah, that's right.
Man, there were some horrendous sleeves. I'll tell you. Okay, I don't cut those. How are we doing on lightning count?
9.
9's a lot.
If 9's a lot, then we can easily cut one.
9's not. That's not
cut
a problem.
that blue shock striker then.
That's lowest value to me.
That's where we were. We were just there.
If I were picking, I told you I don't like Inspire Lightning.
I know. I don't either. Let's cut it then.
These are the lowest 3 on the value curve for me.
So
it's blocked for 3. So it's,
that blocks for 3. So let's get that in the pile.
and it's blue. So it's,
I'm an old-fashioned player, so I'm playing that.
But literally, this is kind of
New Zealand math.
the same card.
Yeah,
weirdly, except for this one is way harder to play.
And it also is definitely better than this one, if it happens.
If it happens, yeah.
Because like 3 unavoidable damage can just win you a game that you have lost.
If you can play it.
Okay. You know, Oldham's got you on that kind of fatiguey kind of stuff, and you can't combo out because he's putting cards on top of your deck, and then you're like, well, have you considered?
Brendan, I'm playing 30 cards. I'm currently on the 30 card
Let's cut this. It's not funnies.
churn.
Let's just see what happens here.
Obsidian says you like your sleeves. They're cool.
Oh, thanks.
You have
Mom.
a supporter.
Okay, now I'm going to have to learn the difference between dealing damage, hitting damage, putting damage points on something, adding damage to a pile, damaging things.
I was saying this before we started. There's a great chat culture around
That's
these
right.
parts, and I love it. Obsidian says you like him. Antonio says Steven's dead inside. He feels nothing. So after all, you Azalea plays. Joe asking what kind they are. That he likes them.
Copper matte, Dragon Shields.
Not matte.
These actually are. Not because I like to. Hey, listen, man, I went to the calling, and all these vendors have all these Dragon Shield sleeves. All of them are matte.
Yep.
Not a single classic man among them.
Well, they know what happens when you have a new pack of Dragon Shields, which is your deck slides all the way back home. Danny Boy saying, Zach's like,
first shuffle, that thing's back in Tulsa.
Some say that thing is still sliding. Danny Boy asking, is this our favorite game to play currently? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
50 Shades saying, hashtag proud mom moment on the 30 card count. And then someone...
Hey, all this Matt's greater than classic stuff, listen up. Steven, that's not right.
I like
It's
them
wrong.
better. But
what is wrong with you people? Yeah. Maybe it's because I have that rosy tint of nostalgia.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I like to shuffle my deck like I make mashed potatoes, which is just
like a
smush until it's back
bread.
together. Yeah, that's right. They don't slide together like Matt's. You have to like blend them.
Yeah.
You know, it's more of it's kind of a strange,
your deck
aggressive
becomes a
process.
singular unit.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, for sure. It's not 50
I feel like
cards.
the antimatter.
That's cool. Yeah, it was awesome. Cardboard Cast. Apparently, we opened our Corshams this Sunday about the same time. We're both posting in Discord.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That card is gorgeous. Someone's asked me if I'm going to keep it or sell it. I'm going to keep it. I keep one of everything that I want to keep, at least so far. So I'm not changing my mind now. I also think the secondary market pricing on Tales of Aria right now, absurd. It's crazy.
You only have
Crazy
29
low.
cards.
Well, that's a problem. You got to plop one right back in.
And
Invest.
Bluester the Wildwood is coming back.
Or
that means I have time for Red Inspire Lightning. I'm not playing that card.
There was someone.
Should I? Which one of these is better?
Someone's asking when Unlimited would be due out, and we don't know yet.
We don't know. They have not announced it, and I've asked, and we don't know. They don't say. We don't know.
Rise of Replenishment.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's definitely a 5. The stir might be a 7.
Mm-hmm. But as an Azalea player, might is the MO that I tend to stick
like
to.
sometimes
it might be a good card on the top of my deck.
So the worst hands in Briar are all attacks or all non-attacks, right?
Okay.
So
yeah, I'm used to that.
At least the all non-attacks, you can still swing the sword. And
Not used to that.
A lot of times you can get the embodiment of lightning because you'll non-attack, swing the sword, and it sticks around. It doesn't work on your sword. Oh. So it's worth reading those.
Oh yeah, like I should learn how the hero plays?
Yeah.
It seems relevant.
But the all attack hands are like the worst. So if you draw an all attack hand, the biggest number you can throw up is the best thing you can do. So that's why I like the 2 for 5.
Yeah.
Is to get you out of the bad hands.
I guess I'll just throw these in my Dragon Shield Gold Classics.
Look at this.
Looks like a constructed deck.
Man's got a shield. So, Deep Blue and Coat of Frost, you can actually sideboard and sealed, which is really important. Even these cards you're not playing.
I don't sideboard.
But especially on the equipment. And this is a good example of this.
Just kidding.
I can either play Deep Blue or Coat of Frost. And against Briar, I know how tight that resource curve can be in weird moments, so I'm going to actually play Coat of Frost.
Oh my gosh. What a fool. Whoever gives up Deep Blue in Guardian.
That's me.
Are you the worst player ever in Sealed?
Let's go.
Guess we'll see. My equipment. I'm not excited about it.
Big Jim saying, well, any more first edition like in future sets? Is that what you're asking? There's a natural amount of...
Why'd you give me Big Briar?
I just handed you the first Briar.
Oh, right on. Start with 40?
There's a natural amount of attrition from like failed payments and that kind of stuff. So there probably will be a moment. I don't know. It's not for certain where we open up some of those spots again. So definitely hop on the wait list. We also have a new system in place that will hopefully make the wait list process go better this time around. Obsidian. Zach's not wrong. 1 Frostbite can destroy a 4-card hand for a Briar.
Okay, I've got all these things. We need the health stuff. You said, is the stuff still at your house?
Yeah. We got the bricks. Do you have any of the boards?
Oh my gosh. Well, the boards are at your house now.
I know. Do we only have those 2 boards?
Only those 2 boards. We can't even get a shipment of those boards to sell, and you're asking if I only have those 2 boards.
Well,
they can't even make sellable boards.
Luckily in Seal, we only have 20 health. So I can have this little square of dice.
I've got 2 right here. These are some slightly earlier.
All right, we'll make that work.
Acceptable.
You ever do things just to drive Steven a little crazy?
Yes.
Because I do. Look at this. Look at my dice board presentation here.
Just go ahead and put it halfway tilted off the screen, if you would, for me.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Bye, me. All right, you ready to get old hemmed? So one of the concerns, and it's valid. It's a valid concern to have. The more I play, the less I'm worried about it. But in Sealed, I'll say a few things. Shout out to the Legend Story design team and the art, whoever manages the art. The art in this set is incredible.
Yeah.
And the vibe of the set, I love it.
I think they had more money, honestly.
I think that's unquestionable.
Yeah, I feel like they may have had more money on this one.
The other thing is the Sealed environment here, I've been very much enjoying. And the more I play, the less concerned I am with Briar. People were concerned she was just like too aggro. But I do think she's really good. So we'll see. The verdict's out. I also think in particularly Draft is a fascinating format with this set. It is just a wild experience. And I think there are characters that you can get, like Oldhim and Lexi particularly. You just get a higher density of cards potentially. And if a lot of players at the table aren't going those classes early on, you kind of have to run of the mill when you're building your deck. And so they play semi-constructed like. I like your dice presentation. It's actually pretty nice.
Is it too dark? Can you guys tell us?
It's bright in mine.
Is it bright to you?
Yeah,
it's so hard. Our
screen
monitor
looks
is
a
made
little
from
dark.
like 20, whatever an old is now. I don't even know what an old date is. 2005? Feels
very
new to
old.
me, you know, but it's old. That's
Yeah,
how time
a kid
works.
born in
isn't it?
2005 is driving right now.
Yeah. I didn't know anybody was born.
50 Shades says looks good on his own.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you can't use that Code of Frost.
Oh, right.
Ice things.
So what do I got? Nothing? I can't even use it. I mean, nothing about a Code of Frost, you know, like...
One piece of equipment, Briar, it happens.
All right, Mark of Lightning. Here we go.
Evens? First evens?
Yeah.
Even it is. First or second. And I'll tell you why you're wrong.
First or second with Briar. Okay, let's think about this.
David's saying the run the mill. Is that like the pick of the litter? Yeah, I think so, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so Briar wants to go against Oldham.
Just letting you parse the problem. You know the answers.
I mean, I haven't played this format enough to have any real understanding of what's going on. Like I said, I've never played Briar before.
My personal opinion is that Briar likes to go second because once she's in tempo, it's really hard to pivot against her. Obviously, against Lexi and Oldham, the challenge there is that sometimes they just dominate.
Yeah, dominate first turn.
But particularly with Oldham, he has a limited amount of dominate, and his dominate is literally thump, so he has to have a pump and thump. I call it that against my first opponent.
You know, pump and thump.
That's the one I was telling you about. Second turn, I swing for 6 with the thump. They did not think it was funny.
Oh, really? Well,
yeah. But I almost died at the table. Because I was like, I called that the pump and thump. And it's like, that's so funny. Anyways.
So they were wrong.
Or I have to have Glacial Footsteps with an ice card and the resources to pay. It's so unlikely. Like, it's unbelievably unlikely.
But it could happen, and then I'll
It could happen right here, yeah.
All right, I'll go second.
Obsidian, it's Steven with a V, not Stephen with a PH. And there are people that spell it. Every industry contact, the first time they email us, will spell it with a PH.
Even if my closing is with a V.
Yep.
That's how you know they're about to do really good work.
Yeah, they really are paying attention to me.
These guys are really paying attention. Yeah. Okay, so Briar turns. Let's look at what we need to do. Okay, so we just get an Earth token if we hit with anything.
Every time you have an attack that deals damage,
you get an Earth token.
Yeah, so like the Arcane Damage gets you an embodiment of Earth. The attack, if it hits, gets you an embodiment of Earth.
I remember all my opponents doing these things.
Yeah.
Non-attack action, you get the 2 non-attacks as embodiment of Lightning. 1 cost attack. If you've played an attack and a non-attack, it's 2 Arcane, which is really that's the real Arcane damage in that deck. Yeah.
Justin says, do you think first edition Tales of Aria is going to go up in price since Unlimited is far away / unknown as when it will come out? I'd love to pick some up to seal with friends. So my speculation is that Unlimited will be out sometime in Q4. I do think you'll have a little price action going because people are going to need to get cards for like the ProQuest or for side events at Dallas and Cincinnati and the National Championship in Florida. But who knows? It's wildly new territory. I think the price on everything first edition is way low right now. But that's in like a 5-10 year view. What it's going to do in the next 60 days is anybody's guess. Danny, a good place to start is a couple Blitz decks. That's a good place to start for sure. You can also pick up like a box or 2 and just do sealed, like we're doing here. We open 6 packs and build decks. If you're doing that, a really simple thing to do, especially if you get like Welcome to Wraith, pick a class, play all your generics and all your class cards and that hero. Out of 6 packs, play a couple games, and then you'll start, knowing what's up enough to start cutting cards.
All right, bring it on. Have at thee. Come on.
Okay.
What you got?
That's a pretty good turn.
Jason, I'm only playing 1 equipment because I only drew 1 equipment that I can play. I got that Ranger hat, though.
The Honing Hood?
Mm-hmm. In true Ranger fashion, it's definitely above the curve.
Glorious. Wouldn't you say? Okay, let's do this. I will play a Snowed Under for 7.
I believe it's called Snow Under.
Snow Under. I Snow Undered you.
All right, so the general sealed strategy. Are you fusing that thing?
No.
Oh, well, you obviously played it wrong. General sealed strategy.
Yep, don't take damage.
Don't take damage, right? We're still on the don't take. Nothing is worth taking damage for unless you're like pitching a ball lightning situation, right?
Yeah, I mean, especially turn 1 when you're going to refill your hand. In Constructed, I feel the same way. It's like, just don't take damage in turn 1 if possible.
All right. We're going to block with 7. It's going to be an Explosive Growth for 3, an Electrify for 2, and an Invigorate for 2.
Just fine. Yep. Arsenal, pass. Pass Arsenal. Don't you see?
Okay. I can kind of see how these are going to go. Okay. Okay. Get ready for some gameplay.
Let's go.
I'm going to play Bramble Spark. I'm not going to fuse it.
Thank the maker. It's
any actions? Any reactions?
No,
any
you
pass?
We're in sealed play. I have basically nothing to do here.
So I played an on-attack.
Have you
and
seen
that's
my
important.
shield?
And
Have
then,
you met our Lord and Savior? Rampart.
This is going to be weird.
Welcome to Briartown.
I'm going to have to make a choice.
Weird. That is weird. See, it doesn't just play itself, now does it?
Huh. Well.
Those Briar players, they have actually been good at the game.
All right, let's entwine some lightning.
Uh-huh.
I'm showing you a lightning press to fuse it.
Ah, +2.
Yeah. So go again, coming in at 4. It's going to deal an arcane damage when I attack with it.
I'll
So
take the arcane.
1 now.
And you get your Seeds of the Earth embodied.
Crazy. That's just crazy. I'm not even sure how that's fair.
Well, here we are.
I embodied it.
Coming at me for 4, you say?
Yeah.
Well, let's do some math. I had a seal pull on Saturday when we were testing there. I got the ice chest. Arcane Barrier 1.
Yeti? Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
You pull that thing?
Oh, yeah, that's like a whole different world.
You're in the new
top
game.
8,
It's
man.
great, yeah. All right. Okay. I think I want to do that. And that. And that. Don't like it. I don't like it.
I mean, isn't it amazing what 4 cards can do? It makes me sick. Because like I was used to playing Game of Thrones with like 18 card hands, and it was like, there's a few choices in here that are interesting, and it's like 4 cards, like 1,000 choices.
It'll drive you insane.
Drive me crazy.
All right, let's go. Patience. That's
the name of the game. Just take it. Just take it.
It's the trick.
Patiently take 4.
No, I'm not doing that. But what I am gonna do instead, I need to pitch that, and I need to block that. So let's go block for 4.
Mm-hmm.
You have an armor token I put on that when I give a +1 armor?
I sure do.
I need an armor token that doesn't have a little line through it.
Well, you know, it's like an ice line.
Then we'll go to reactions.
Yeah, I have no reaction. I'll pass.
I'm going to use my Oldham reaction, pay him with an earth and an ice card. So prevent the next 2 damage I would take, and you put a card on top of your deck.
That's right. I'll put this one on top.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to pitch this. But watch out late game. +2 in the pocket.
You got to track it. There it is.
Track it. Rosetta Thorn for 2 with 2 arcane that gets blocked by the reaction.
So I block the arcane and I take the physical.
You take 2.
Yep.
Do I get an embodiment of something there?
Only your attack actions.
Okay. I'll read the cards next time.
Doesn't much matter.
Did you defend with a card from hand? So can I do this anytime?
Yeah. Usually you want to play it on your ball lightning though.
Yeah,
it's worth 2.
right on. And then this goes under.
All right, then I'll pass.
Yeah. And then this goes away.
Yep.
I'm no longer an Earthman. Or Earth person.
Just as I have a similar issue, my last name starts with Phil, and I get emails at work, hey Phil, and I know we're off to a good start.
Okay. So now we're on the fuse cards with no fusey cards train.
Welcome to London, fam.
Okay, but... Okay, and so they're all attacks. All right. So this is the hand that we consider to be bad.
So one thing I've learned as a Briar player, I went to 2 pre-releases. I went 5-1 at both. Both times I lost. I would have a turn where I made my opponent block out with their whole hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I just covered my whole hand.
And then you would do garbage.
Then I would draw 4 attacks. I don't know what you have in your hand, but then it's like, okay, I guess I'll swing for 3. That's what I'm doing.
Okay, I've got a play here. The cards, if you read the text, they do a lot more. Yellow Bramble Spark.
Mm-hmm. You have a non-attacking hand. You can get out of town. That's all you need.
But the attack has to go again.
I mean,
and if you can't fuse them,
an arcane damage and an attack is fine.
We got the fuser down there. So I'm actually going to pitch here. Pitch that Red Entwined Lightning to play a Rites of Lightning, right? So now it does 1 arcane from Bramble Spark, which gives it go again.
That's right. That's exactly what you do.
So take 1.
This bad hand suddenly really good.
Well, you know, you try to find a way, don't you?
All right. Now, if I had an ice card, it'd be really good. Because I could put that card on top of your deck and you couldn't swing the sword, you see. But I don't. So you get 1 embodiment because you did 1 there. And then this is what we call the pivot turn. It must be done, you see. I will block.
What are you looking at over here?
I'm just doing math.
Is there something on the wall? You see a spider? I should have had that burrito for lunch.
I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, I'm about to go
Snack.
run, and I'm going to die.
Horror theory?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't look this good for nothing, Zach. Got to put the time in.
Yeah, you know what I was going to say. That's probably it.
You know how much harder it gets to be
block for 3 and take 1.
Healthy at all whenever it gets dark earlier?
Winter.
So I get another embodiment of Earth.
Oh, yeah, you get number 2. You can put a die on there if you want.
Any reactions?
No.
Huh. Your lack of reactions is disturbing to me. If you had reacted to that and prevented the next 2, this would go into Arsenal. But now I want to swing the sword with it.
2 and 2 is the best deal in baseball.
But don't you want? But that's what you planned for me to do. So what if I throw a wild card at you? All right, 2 and 2. You take 2.
Be our guest.
Just right off the bat there.
Yep.
Just nothing you can even do about it.
No block. Take 2. Down to 11. Let's party.
I don't know. I still think I should put that in Arsenal. It's just the kind of value I'm looking for.
2 and 2.
It can't possibly be better value than 2 and 2, though.
Right.
It can't possibly.
Seemed like a no-K turn, Steven. After all.
That was my worst turn yet.
9 damage. Come on. All right, mine.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if this matters. I'm going to play a blue So Tomorrow from Arsenal. Because I played from Arsenal, I get to draw a card. I also get to put a card from here that costs 2 or greater on the bottom of my deck. So I'm going to put a Glacial Footsteps on the bottom of my deck.
Oh, stacking that bottom there.
It's like I knew when I blocked with it earlier.
You're pivoting so hard right now. I just can't even control myself.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just full pivot.
You put this dumb Red Rejuvenate in my deck, and now I'm looking at it like, I don't ever want to play this. And I blame you. And I think it's because you wanted to win.
You'll find the moment. Let's go. Let's play a Thump. Sorry, I need to boost it first. Let's Cracker Jacks.
Getting jacks.
Let's play a Thump at 7. Red Thump at 7. Has Dominate, and if it hits, you discard a card.
No big deal. Red Thump at 7. It's going to hit. Can't do anything about that. And what we're going to block with is maybe this. I want a non-attack in the pile there. Let's block with that blue Heaven's Claws for 3.
Okay.
I'm going to take 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to discard a card.
You got it.
I'm going to discard this Rejuvenate in spite.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, wait, I had these embodiments, huh?
Yep.
Here, let me do that differently. I'll block with this and then discard
4.
this one.
Yeah, this seems better.
Yeah, that's better.
Take 3 instead.
Yeah. I add 1 back to the pile. That's fine. That's fine. No, I want this one in here. I'll discard this guy. Okay. Back to me. Embodiment of Earth has gone away. I'm gonna like put it out front next time. Let's play a Shock Striker yellow. We're gonna pitch a blue. We're gonna have 2 floating. A convenient number, given the Shock Striker text.
No cards in hand.
No cards in hand, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's... block. I hate doing this.
Yeah.
Block for 2.
Oof.
Go to reactions.
Yeah, we'll give it +1. Go to 5.
That's right.
Yeah. I gotta do that, or if you pass, I
react
pass.
here to prevent the next 2.
Okay.
So then take 0.
Take 0, right? Yeah.
Call you in the morning.
You did it. Is that what we need to know? Dealing damage, what does that say?
So
The next 2 damage that would be dealt.
So it prevents the actual dealing. So then your trigger, if you deal, never happens.
If I hit.
Yeah.
So if you don't deal, you don't hit.
Yeah.
If you hit, you don't deal. It's classic.
All right, you ready for this action?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a Frostbite token.
Bring it on. Bring that frost over here.
With my Cutter Frost, and then I'm going to swing the hammer for 4. This should already be on the bottom.
The hammer for 4, he says.
What up, D-Hoss? It does, I agree. Saying he blames us for their group's obsession with Fab. Used to play Destiny. Hits a lot of the same buttons. It definitely feels like the evolution of that style of game to me. What up, Jason? We're both going to Dallas. There's a ton of people on our Discord going to Dallas as well.
All right, now hold on a second.
Mm-hmm. Got him. A lot of times you got to work through the math of your turn before you can do anything here with Briar, particularly.
I'm not a fuse man, but we're going to work on this together.
Okay.
I'm going to take 4.
Mm-hmm.
They call this a pivot turn. Is that what the kids call that?
Pass. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Mock.
That's not right.
Yeah.
All right, hold on a second. I got to block that.
Okay.
You got to do that. You know what? It ain't easy. I'll give it to you. These Briar turns...
You like it?
They're not easy, man. There's like a reading a book on all of these cards.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely...
So you can't fuse, so that's not on. That's not on. Got the card I want to play, which I'm not going to play this turn, because I'm not going to get such minimal value out of it. I can't possibly...
Sometimes you just pay 2 to swing that sword, get rid of the frostbite, and arsenal the right card.
I can do better.
So funny. It's not easy. I'll give you that.
All right, I'm gonna block 3 of that thing, and then I'll take 1. So I'll add 2 back, or 3 back.
I like your.
It's so stupid. Yeah, I was doing that trying to bother you. It just bothers me.
Who's on first? What's on third?
Okay. We can't fuse it, but here we are. We'll do an Arcanic Shockwave. Pitch there, 1 floating.
You pay 2 for it?
Oh wait,
pay
hold
1
on.
for it.
Hold the freaking phone.
Oh no.
Hold on. Yeah, sorry. I'm learning Briar. It's very helpful for everybody, etc. Oh my gosh. It's so good. All right, I'm taking all this. It's going.
Found a good turn. Yeah. Feels good, doesn't it, to find those lanes?
Yes.
Now this is pod racing.
Oh no.
You want to walk through whatever you're doing?
No.
Okay.
This is for me to figure out and not you to see.
Be sure to say hi in Dallas, Jason. Any advice from new players?
Yes, I did the right thing.
Just play.
Do a lot of this too, honestly. Be around somebody who doesn't get mad at you.
For blocking, unblocking, and blocking again, and then unblocking again?
Yeah. Let it happen early on, and then whenever you're really serious, you can
50 Shades says, this turn has been a roller coaster of emotion.
Arcanic Shockwave, fusing Ball Lightning as a lightning card.
You got to pay for this.
I am, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
No, this is the perfect play.
Judge.
And then use the arsenal that.
That's right.
It's such a good turn.
What I was trying to do is find a way to get Vela Flash to play this, charging this, to get an extra action point with the non-attack. And then I'm like, all right, I've got a lightning card, great. And then I was like, oh, I don't have a non-attack that I can play as an instant with Go again. Okay, well then I'll block, and then it kind of, went back and forth a little bit.
Yeah.
So there you go. Take 1 arcane, and then you take 4, or threaten 4.
Yeah, so I definitely take the arcane. How about that?
Yeah.
This goes away. And you get 1 of your embodiment tokens.
All right.
For your trouble.
I'll put them up here so I don't forget them again.
Yeah. Then let's do the math.
What's up, Jacob? You can come up and say those Team Covenant guys. That's fine. That's fine too. That happens all the time. We'll give you a hug. Well, Zach won't hug you. He doesn't like touching people.
This is true.
I would hug you if you weren't potentially rife with viruses.
So I definitely want to do that.
But there will be a day when the hugging will commence. Hug the world again.
All right.
I didn't want you to know I had this, Now you're going to be all spooked. You're going to get ready for it.
Well, I'm going to do the same. So what I would do here, because you don't go again, is I'm trying to put that on top of your deck. So you can't arsenal it.
Right.
Every time.
Yeah, so that's
but I'm
a fine thing, I
figuring
suppose.
out the best way to do that. You see.
Yeah, you feel like sometimes you're just spinning cards that are just putting off the inevitable. Yeah.
So it's actually a really nuanced situation here with Oldham. So my default, just to walk it through, was going to be to pitch a Earth and Ice, and then I have 1 floating resource, so I can also block here. But then I'm taking the damage from the Shockwave still, because I'm blocking for 3. And I was like, well, I can block with a card. But then what I was trying to figure out is, can I do the same sequence but also swing the hammer still for 4?
Right on, yeah.
And if I did it differently, so now I'm actually abandoning the Earth piece.
Yeah. Now you're just pitching Ice for the ability. You're blocking 3.
I'm blocking 3. And then I'm going to pay 1 to block with that. 1 floating. And then I'm going to pay 3 to trigger the Ice reaction to put a card on top of your deck. And this is the Earth card I was originally going to pitch, which is going to let me swing the hammer for 4.
And now you can swing for 4.
That's right.
That's right. You got to be good at the game to win at the game.
Yeah, there are things that matter. And I stopped you from getting that second embodiment token.
That's right.
Which is what lets you cover the hammer with a single line attack action, you see.
That's right.
All right. Now
let's have non-attacks for 3, sometimes.
I'm going to make your life even more annoying, hopefully. From Arsenal, I'm going to play Winter's Bite. You either discard a card or pay 2 resources.
Okay. It's funny because it's an all-red hand. So I suppose that means I'm discarding a card.
There it is. Jason, my favorite format is limited in general, so sealed and draft. I think it depends a lot on the set. Sealed's a really good time. Draft is a little more skill intensive, so that eventually that's more fun.
Electrify me.
Jacob, if you see us again, even if you don't know our names, did you already go over that?
Mm-hmm.
I was focused. You can say hi. I'm not offended. I'm just happy someone, like anyone walking up and just saying they enjoy what we do. It's awesome.
And then you hammer, and then I'm on the back foot there.
Pivot.
But it's a long. I mean, we got a little ways yet on this one.
I'm only at 10 health too, so at any moment you have in sealed, the more patience you have, like preserving an okay hand but taking damage is not usually great.
I'm gonna bet on the Guardian reality here. I'm gonna pitch both of these to prevent that.
Okay.
They're
Just buying the long term here.
kind of. It's probably wrong, so we'll see how it plays out and then go from there. All right, are you hammering?
Yeah, hammer for 4.
All right, I'll block 3, take 1.
Yeah. I do agree. 50 Shades saying you can probably set up a 5-card hand at some point and then tempo the rest of the game to the end.
Yeah.
With me on 10 health.
Because this is going in Arsenal, and that's the whole point.
Yeah, and there's no way I can wrestle it from your hands. So now I gotta apply serious pressure.
Yeah, this is your moment. Oh, Lord.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I believe you to a point. All right, we're going to play Yellow Chill to the Bone. The next time an ice or elemental attack, that's actually not going to happen. I just realized it's not ice or elemental.
Yeah, I know. It looks like it, though, doesn't it? It's got all these blizzards on it, or it's filled with lightning, and there it is, elemental attack. Doesn't even say the words on there.
So instead, let's go here. Let's go blue Earthlore Surge into a red Burgeoning for 9.
Boy, does this look like a Take 9 turn. You ever listen to Tech 9?
I'm sure you're surprised.
It's so unsurprising that I would be upset if it...
Big Jim saying there must be an incredible amount of random luck at tournaments for us not to have made the top 64. I mean...
Yeah.
Let's blame it on luck. No, so at a tournament that big, you have to be exceptional. So I went 5-1-1, 1 loss, 1 draw, and barely didn't make it. But like 11 rounds with 900 plus players, you pretty much get to lose 1 or 2 games. So there's really good players there, and it's tough.
Man, this is close to nonsense here. Okay, but given that I know it's nonsense, my only choice really here is block 3 or Arsenal this card.
You already have an Arsenal card.
Well, I mean, Queen's Gambit, man. I'm thinking a few turns ahead here. Okay. And the weird thing is, man, there's not... You got to do the tune on attacks, so I can't do the tune on attacks for the lightning. And I feel like that's when things get out of control. When you have the turn where, like if I had one of these Vela flashes in this hand, it would be bonkers.
There's some wild hands.
So good. Which maybe means I should have prioritized those a little bit more.
We're learning.
But instead...
And I'm staring at my shield.
So we'll do...
It's a great day.
4,
Win or lose,
7.
I got the shield. We're good.
So instead, I'm going to take 9.
I think if you have the right tempo play here...
What did the kids call this? The pivot? Pivot?
It's the pivot. You're taking damage, and then you're hoping to get back in control of this thing.
This is a chain. Do I have to worry about the chain? This combat chain.
Yep. So
right?
be careful.
Okay.
You love to see it.
Is it attack actions only? Yeah. cards. Okay. Let's play an Earthlore Surge for +3.
Mm-hmm.
Let's pitch a Shock Striker blue. And you tell me what part of this is wrong. And then we'll Ball Lightning for 6.
Oh, bomb it.
Things will deal damage +1 if and when given the chance.
Cards in hand?
2. That's why I didn't block with this card. Bring on the ice.
Oh, this is disgusting. So if I block it, you have 2 free damage coming.
That's right.
Which I don't like. You're doing this right.
Have I suggested not blocking?
You haven't, but I'm gonna not block in the most effective way possible. This shield's great.
The old him reality there.
Okay, so I'm gonna block with a shield, not from hand, and then we'll go to reactions.
I have no reactions.
All right, I'm gonna pay, and I paid 1. No, I can't do that. Hold on, let's back this up. Because I have to,
no takebacks.
I have to pitch it with this for it to matter. You see?
Does anyone have that friend? You know, you ever think of that friend that like, I just literally took back my turn like 7 times, and then you try to do it like, no.
I don't have that friend.
Nobody does because they're not actually a friend at that point.
That. Okay, 1, 3. No, there it is. Okay. I will block here, and I will pay 1. And then we'll go to reactions.
Done? None.
Pay 3, triggering both. So prevent the next 2 damage that I would take, and you have to put a card back on top of your deck. So I'll take 3.
Take 3.
Is the moral of the story.
Yeah.
Did it.
Okay. Now we've got. Oh, and you take 3, and you took the. There was no arcane.
There was no arcane.
So 1 embodiment.
Jason, so the Calling in Dallas is sealed on Saturday. So there's not really a constructed deck of choice.
Then we're going with Singeing.
All right, take 1, arcane.
2, because of ball, yeah?
It's not a lightning round.
Oh, okay, yeah. So maybe I should swing with a sword.
Definitely.
Sword better?
Oh, yeah.
Here, yeah?
And then
arsenal that,
yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's swing with a sword then. See, there's so much text on these cards.
Mm-hmm. So I take the 2.
It used to be an old-fashioned game.
Used to be simple, didn't it?
You know? Lightning round. I've got to pay attention to all this text now.
I will block 2. Oh wait, yeah, you take 2. I'll block 2.
Okay. So if I swing with this, it's presenting 1 arcane, getting me an embodiment token, and throwing 4 at you. 2 gets prevented, you block 2. So the same exchange, but I get 1 embodiment and no arsenal. Yeah, that's way worse. Sometimes you just gotta look at the cards.
And I need you to have a mashed potatoes turn.
Well, I've been stacking them up pretty good.
Just mash them, you know?
Mash them.
Boil them, put them on a stew.
Well, you're in luck. All attacks.
It happens.
It sure does.
And as the other player, you just got to keep doing things that prevent you from dying until those moments arise.
Yeah, that seems right? Because like you can definitely get this dominate going. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I feel like if I can present 5, I should. But there is currently no go again.
You just gotta play to those turns.
Gross.
Yeah.
Gross. Okay then. What might we do instead? Here's a question. Do you do 1 arcane and 3 damage, or do you do 4 damage?
1 arcane and 3.
What a puzzle, right?
Definitely. Because you can do 4 in 1 turn to me pretty easily, arcane-wise.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the Singeing here. It's going to come in and present lethal to you So 1 arcane. That's
Plus
going to force you to do something.
You get the embodiment token off that, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I got a pitch to do this. I got to figure out what I want to pitch here. Let's pitch this. 1 floats. 3 in hand. Have you tracked my lightning press? It's not a lightning card. I don't know if it works on lightning cards or not. But
It's a no.
hold on, let me read it real quick.
Yeah. Okay. So I have my defense reactions ready. Don't you see? You just love to see it.
You love to see it. 4 card hand. Glacial is 6. Is that right?
Yeah.
So you have to have 4 cards in Glacial. So this at least prevents the 10 dominate.
A 2-card Glacial would still be a 10 damage.
Yeah.
Block a lot situation. So if I do that, 1, 3. It's a bummer, but it is the option.
I like how much Dante Del Fico is like the full name of Dante. You can't say Dante without saying Del Fico as well.
What brought that up?
He's a real persona, isn't he now? Jacob Downing said, probably not getting paired with Dante Del Fico around 2.
Yeah.
Dante's a super nice guy.
It's a significant name, for sure. Okay, let's block for 3. Well, no, let's block here and here. Pay 1.
You love that shield, don't you? Okay, you did it. You got it.
Just free value, man.
Throw that in the arse there.
Just free value.
Free, you gotta pay for it. I mean, the long term of the game, you're not paying anything.
Hey, that's pay-ish.
Pay him.
Pay him. Swing a hammer for 4, you see.
Wow.
Let the chips fall where they may. You know what I mean? I need to look up just a list of like things old people say.
Wouldn't take long, man.
And just quote them all. My dad used to quote, I forget what's the name of is it Tom Cruise who's a pool hustler?
I'm sure he has been.
About? What movie that is?
Pool hustler?
He's hustling people at pool.
Oh, no, that sounds like a Tom Cruise role for sure, though. Have you seen him in Cocktail?
No.
It's a revelation, man.
In Mission Impossible 13, though.
It's just a revelation.
Kidding. Is it good?
Yeah, it's great.
Are you lying?
No, I'm not.
Anyways, my dad quoted that movie a lot, and I eventually saw it, and I was like, oh my god. That's where everything you say comes from.
Yeah, that's how I was with Airplane with my dad.
The Color of Money.
Oh, Color Money, nice.
Yeah. Like a nightmare. Play board games, and he's like starting to win. He's like, it's like a nightmare. All the time.
Okay, I think I know what I'm going to do, but I'm scared.
You hear that sound? Thinks the pain train coming?
4, hey? 4.
It's just a hammer. It's not even lethal. Take it.
Yeah. Okay.
This shield's ridiculous.
Okay, so
I'm glad they made it.
These things.
Let's get more of these in the game.
I'm blocking for 3 here.
All right, take 1.
Yeah.
Call me in the morning.
Take him.
Arsenal pass.
Take 1.
Pass Arsenal.
Pass Arsenal. Thank you.
It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful, Steven.
Bam. From the arse, let's go Lightning Surge for 4 there. It's going to have a go again.
That seems good. Card's name?
I have 3 cards in hand.
Still.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you definitely got that lightning thing you pitched way early on.
Now, Zach.
+2. +2. Waiting to kill me.
What makes you think that?
Kill me.
What makes you think that?
That look in your eyes?
I never. Yeah, probably. How many cards are left in my deck?
9. How many was it?
9. How many aces have you seen on the table?
We're almost at the end of this thing.
3 hands left to get it done. Can you dig it? Do you have an Earth card for that reaction or not?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because then you can react to my Lightning Man.
That's not the math I'm trying to figure out here.
With your Earth Man.
I think that's the play.
I think we play a game of Sealed 3 times slower than Brendan and Hayden play a game of Constructed.
Probably. Now, on Saturday, when I wasn't on camera, and we weren't having all these conversations, we were playing like 4 games of Sealed an hour.
But I'm sure you weren't learning as much.
That's right. I definitely wasn't teaching as much.
I know what we should do. We should rebrand our channel and call ourselves the Professors.
Covenant Community College?
Nobody's ever thought of that, have they? We'll be like the Professors, but for card games instead of like academia.
This turn drives me crazy, Steven.
Yeah, good. What's up, David Whitfield? Good to see you as always. What would you do for a Klondike bar?
All right, let's go.
Spaghetti.
This is only Lightning Elemental, right?
Only Lightning Elemental, of which this is one.
I see that,
Yep.
very unfortunately.
Also, you wouldn't believe it. Brendan and DM Armada, they were having like a podcast, and they said, we really want to shout out all the early Flesh and Blood content creators and people that really got the word out.
Surely they were like Team Covenant.
They didn't say a word about us.
What?
Not a word. Nope. Not a word.
So we're gonna have to start tossing shade at them for real.
Yeah, this means war.
Retribution. Yeah. We're gonna bury that Pass Arsenal podcast.
Pass, Arsenal.
That's right. Let's change our name, actually. Pass, Arsenal.
It's an SEO war, boys. Actually,
right.
I think Brendan would win that because that's his job.
He better.
Yeah, right? It's his job, so.
Yeah.
He just gets on here so we can hear what we're saying about him.
I'm going to not block. Go to reaction.
Pass.
All right. I will react. I'm going to pay 2 for a turn temper.
Oh, you actually got a real one. That's a good one.
And I'm going to share you this yellow Earthlore Surge.
Okay, is that supposed to do something
I'm
for me?
fusing it, so it's +2 defense.
Okay, yeah.
So now it's blocking for 7.
Yeah, that's a lot of defense there.
Then can I keep going?
Well, I don't know. Should I do this lightning thing? Probably while I got it, right? Let's crack it. I'm not going to ball lightning ever again.
That wasn't from hand.
Oh, right. So I'll leave it there.
Yeah. I will go ahead and use my reaction here. So you put a card on top of your deck, and it prevents the next 2 damage I would take.
Right, yeah.
Diddy Shay says, what? You started a war and you didn't even know it. Many wars happen that way.
Yeah, I do feel that way.
Do you think Helen of Troy knew her decision was going to cascade into one of the greatest wars of all time? Probably not.
No, probably not.
She was just in love, according to the movie.
The next 2 damage, huh?
Yep.
How many cards you got? 1?
1.
Yeah, but you're going to do, like, literally nothing.
I'm on a 9-card clock here.
Okay.
That's my win condition.
And you've got 1 card in hand.
Shade says, pretty sure the next episode is all about Team Covenant. Well, we'll put that war on pause until we hear your next episode.
I'm going to put this on top. This is an unconventional play for me. It's not at all what I want to be doing. All right, are you happy with everything you've done here?
I'm good, yeah. Covered it right up.
Okay, and then we're going to swing another 4 damage at you.
No go again.
2 is going to be prevented right off the bat.
Like we do. It's interesting. So I block here, I take 2.
Well, you're preventing the first 2.
Oh, that's right. So nothing happens.
I mean, you will take 1 from Mark if you block.
Well, it'll be prevented. I'll prevent the next 2.
I think that's a 2 block in your hand. No matter what's happening, you're taking 1.
Block a 3.
Okay, you did it.
So you can technically trigger that, but I'm preventing the next 2 that I would take.
Yeah, I'm not going to trigger it then.
Right.
I'm not going to trigger it for no reason. Yeah.
I'm a Lebowski. He's a Lebowski.
Smart. I haven't done a very good job of setting up my hands. Like
Meanwhile,
my 5 cards.
The number of times I have Earth, Ice right next to each other is just all the time. Prepare for those reactions to just work every round from now on. Just saying.
Just saying, huh?
It's so good.
Just saying.
Big Jam saying, how about the assassination of Franz Ferdinand? Did he get assassinated?
I think so.
Is he French?
Probably.
Franz?
Oh man, I'm in this. Sometimes you get stuck in that 4-card hand thing, you know, where it's like you really want 5.
You do really want 5, but you gotta set that up.
I know, but to set it up, I've got to give you an opening. It's like the central tension of the game. It's crazy.
I love it.
I do feel like I needed more non-attack actions in this deck. Let's entwine lightning and show you this lightning press.
All right.
Let's go again.
See, that's annoying.
Now you know, so you're the problem. You get to make the decision.
We're launching a war by our lack of history knowledge. All right. So you show me that.
You can't. I think fatigue is a very real thing. You can absolutely do this.
Let's block here. Pain. 1. Cards in hand.
3.
Let's back this up. Hold on.
No takebacks.
It's a weird stack.
For Klondike bar. Boop-a-doo-woo-woo. Adam, he did open that shield. I feel like without that shield, you'd be in a worse place. You ever feel that way? I feel like
been helpful, yeah.
Blocked about 17 damage.
Yeah, it's just been doing some good stuff here.
Like those 4 break points are pretty kind of important, you know.
No, I'm with it, you know. If I block from hand, you're gonna get the bonus damage if I don't.
Not if you react.
Careful. Yeah, I gotta be careful. But I can't react when that triggers.
That's right.
You see, this is the central tension of this moment.
I don't even know where this goes. Does this even go on a stack somewhere, or is it just like a magic effect?
I don't know.
It's not even. It doesn't say instant. When is this happening?
It's whenever.
Yeah.
So
you may destroy it if you do the attack deals 1 damage to the defending hero. Does that just happen immediately, or is the cost destroying it and then it goes on the chain?
Okay, I figured it out.
And you can react to it with a reaction.
We're gonna block for 3 and then keep going. You gonna do anything over there?
I mean, I'll give you 1. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, may as well. And you get a little embodiment token.
Don't call it little.
Itty bitty.
Don't talk about it like that.
Then we'll go to reactions.
Sure.
I'll go ahead and pay 1 floating, but it's both ice and earth. So I'll prevent the next 2, and you put a card back on top of it.
You got 1 card in hand there.
Mm-hmm.
And you're preventing the next 2, and you're blocking for 3.
And I can shield with this extra resources floating.
But don't you have to defend with that?
We'll have you attack again.
Oh, right. So like right now, you're technically 5 defense to my 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I give myself +2,
you do 1.
Then I would do 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I had a way to do 2 arcane damage at that point, that would be a problem for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, let's see what we're going to do here.
But as a reaction, like right now, you're going to have to put a card on top of your deck.
Yeah, I'm doing that currently.
Yeah. So my assumption is with 2 cards, you can't both play a non-attack and swing a sword.
Good assumption.
And pump.
Yeah.
So like...
All right, let's throw this on top.
Mr. Yao asked me how my Hills of Aria collection is going. It's going phenomenal. So the 2 legendaries I'm missing are Crown of Seeds and... So important I don't... Oh, New Horizons. But I just pulled the 2nd shield. And I have a lot of people in my life that didn't open this that pulled other stuff. So I think I'll be able to trade into what I need.
All right. Now hold on just a second. How many? You've got one resource, and you've got the next two floating.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, we're changing the game here. Let's put this on top. Yeah, put that on top. And then you got a one floaty. Is that what's happening here? Yeah, you got a one floaty prevention.
Yeah.
Prevent one, and the next one is also happening. You got the shield for one. It could be a 2 in hand. Yeah. So I'm just gonna pitch here and swing for 5.
All right. Block for 3, 4, and the floating one. None shall pass.
None shall pass. The brick wall.
That shield's getting some love.
The brick wall.
Sleeping Gloom, my favorite, 50 Shades, nice. My favorite hero from the set is probably Briar on a constructed lane. I also really like Oldham, but I like Bravo more as a Guardian, so, you know, little this, little that. Big Jim saying I had terrible luck with Legendaries this set. 7 boxes open, 1 Legendary. Did you get any of those fancy Pulse of such and such cold foils? Or any cold foil weapons?
Okay, here we go. This is the magic we were looking for. All right, so this is gonna get. This is this crazy stuff you always do in Runblade that drives me insane. All right,
Welcome.
so what we're going to do. Okay, we're gonna pitch one of these cards. Let's assume it's this card. Okay. Then we're going to play this card for 1. We're going to show you this card. Then we're going to play this card. And then you're going to send this one on top. And then we're going to be fine. Okay, great. Vela Flash, pay. 2 floating. I'm going to show you Electrify to fuse it.
Okay.
Play my next non-attack as though it were an instant.
Okay.
And then 4 coming at you. Reactions.
Hold
Well,
on, you're
defense
blocked.
first, right? Defense, right? You gotta.
Yeah, so you got that pump. You can go to 6. If you hit, you're going to get 3 extra because you have that 3 instant damage.
This is maybe where. No, it's got to hit. Okay, it's got to hit to do it.
So if I block. Six.
Inspire Lightning is good here. It's worth noting. Peter is right.
Cards in hand?
2.
All right, so you can't play an instant and pump. But you can play an instant and swing the sword. A lot of ways to die here, isn't there?
I'm looking to swing the sword.
Yeah, I assume.
Or maybe not.
Basically, I need to cover up and have the 2 float in. Know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Electrify me.
I take that and that. Coming in for 4, he says.
4.
Well, that's just annoying. Okay. That's definitely happening there. And then...
You think the shield is critical in this?
Don't know. my choices every turn change because I have that option.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't seem unhelpful. If I do that, then I see it block 4. Block 1. 2's floating.
That ball lightning turn was not a hard enough pivot. I got distracted by how good the card is.
So,
not how good it was.
If your non-attack is an instant, it doesn't clear the chain, right?
Yeah, that's right. Shield stuck.
I just know I need to live. If I can just keep living a little longer. You know what I mean?
I really do.
I think I have it.
If you close 2 eyes, maybe you'll get there.
I think I have it. Okay. Let's block for 5. And then let's go to reactions.
Okay. Good question. I'm gonna pass.
Okay. I'll go and react with both.
Okay.
2 floating. Put 1 on top, and then prevent the next 2 damage I would take.
Okay. I'm gonna pass again.
Okay.
And put this in arsenal.
Yeah. I'll pass.
You gotta get out of this 4-card hand garbage.
You're not
you gotta
wrong.
put it to bed.
You're not wrong, my friend. Just give me a little opening. Just an itty bitty opening. Come on.
Okay.
It's been a good game.
I forget which one this is.
Down to 3 cards in deck.
If it's the one I think it is, we're in a good place. So then we do this. We do this. This.
It's been quite a game.
Okay. I think I'm here on this. Here on Greyjoy. All right, I'm just gonna start moving, and we're gonna see where this goes. I'm gonna pitch this guy.
All right, now it's a really good time to pay attention to what you're putting on the bottom of that there deck.
Electrify. Draw a card.
Son of a monkey. Red Electrify is just great right here.
Okay. Then we're gonna play Invigorate. Get Embodiment of Lightning. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So
It's a tasty little number.
yeah, that's cool.
Just free 99. The best value. But just play these cards. Use these cards. I'll survive. I'm as old as eternity.
The philosopher's cry. How? Impossible. Okay. Then, how about this tasty number? We're going to play an Arcanic Shockwave, showing you a Shock Striker to make the thing happen.
Gotta take the Arcane.
And then you take 1 Arcane and you have 7 coming at you.
And if it hits, 3 more.
If it hits, you're dead, especially.
How many cards left?
2 cards left. It does have Go Again.
Alright, so I basically have to block 7. And then 4.
This blows up.
Let me tell you. It's not good.
I mean, you'll find a way to wriggle. You're a wriggler.
I don't think
You're
there's
Wrigley
any,
Field over there.
there's no wriggles here. It's close.
Chaos Sand, does the arcane count for electrify? No. So hitting is specifically the interaction between attacks and defense cards, and the power of an attack card being greater than the defense presented. That is when you hit. Arcane damage never hits. It just deals damage. Don't look at those.
Let's.
You remember what they are because you remember how I pitched.
Block for 7.
Nice. Okay. That's all 7 there. This is that attack reaction. Did you know that?
No.
You didn't?
No idea.
Did you think I had it?
Doesn't matter if you do or don't. I lose anyway. You gotta stop 4 from the sword randomly.
You can't react or anything? You do anything fancy there?
I mean, no, I can't.
All right, I'll swing with a sword, I guess.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Okay.
I even if I reacted here to prevent the next 2, the 2 from the physical kills me.
Yeah.
So there's no outs there.
You know what's crazy? I did pitch this.
And you eventually got it.
On purpose.
Yeah.
That was an on-purpose decision that I made.
Yeah, that was a great turn. That's exactly what you need to do. And you slowed down a little bit to Arsenal instead.
That's it. Arsenal that Electrify changed that. I mean, it actually didn't change it at all. But it gave me a lot more outs.
Well, it did change it because I actually had to cover up all 7 or lose.
Because of the Electrify?
Yeah. So I actually had a play where I could do block for 6, take 1,
right,
and then be in the position to live another turn.
And the extra card from Electrify, or the
the draw,
also gives me some options there.
Yeah.
Like you can also go. Yeah, that's right. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's good. So there's a couple of great lessons there. Like one is that Oldhim can play a long game.
Yeah.
You want to play again?
I have the time.
Different decks or same decks? You want to open another pool? Let's open another pool and go for it, man.
I'm into it.
I got an hour and a half.
Okay, great.
Anyway, so what I learned, so I've seen players do this a lot, and I was that player for a long time, where you consistently are banging 4-card hands against your opponent. They're not taking any damage. They're losing some cards as well. And then you draw another 4-card hand, you maybe take 1 or 2, and then you throw everything you've got at it, they block everything, maybe swing a weapon. They block everything, swing a weapon. And you're like, my cards aren't good enough. My deck isn't strong enough. And if you're playing Azalea, you're probably right. But in most heroes, it's you need to take a turn, a little bit less heat, and throw that Arsenal card in.
That's how you get the real heat turns.
That's really the compounding nature, because there's only 4-card hands. The compounding nature of that 5th card, just strictly as a percentage of 20%, essentially, or 25%, kind of how you do the math, I guess 20% is correct. That makes a huge difference. And it puts you over the top of the game's defense valuation numbers.
Yeah.
Which is really important.
Yeah, and I think what you saw there, too, is a really good example of, if you don't mind, keep that stack together, because that's a sealed
Yeah, I'll keep it together.
I think I lost that game on like the 2nd or 3rd turn.
Mm-hmm. Which turn was it? Or what was the memory?
You went 2nd, and I, as quickly as possible, want to get you on the back foot, if I can.
That'd be cool.
And I had the Thump turn.
Yep.
I knew I only had 1 copy of Thump in my deck. So that is my moment to Crackerjacks. And that's the turn where you're like, oh, I have a horrible turn. And then it was not horrible.
Yeah.
And I had to basically decide, do I take the damage and then try to make the pivot happen? Because I know I can send back a decent amount of damage and get a card out of hand.
Yeah.
Or do I not take the damage and lose the Thump? Probably permanently. And then the other thing I knew I had was...
do you think you're supposed to block?
I think I was too far behind on health.
Like you had to block with the Thump, you think?
I think I need to block out that turn.
It's the only one in your deck.
I have 3 Glacial Footsteps. So I gave up health, but then that later let you get out of the pivot. So I was on... You were kind of on weaker turns for a second. And then you took 1 punch, went down to like 9 or 10. And then I never... At that point, I was on attrition.
Yeah.
Because I never had the choice.
Fully was able to get back in. And Oldhim finds himself in that situation a lot, especially if you're using the reaction a bunch.
But I was I just wanted to see if I could get on top of it.
It was dang close.
And like I was close, but I didn't have quite enough heat to stay there.
Yeah.
And I think that's where like another, like if it wasn't in my deck, but if I draw into another Thump with like an Earth Lore Surge, and I can just keep the pressure going. But health is so, as you can see, eventually you can't block enough against Briar.
There's an inevitability to it, that seems to happen towards the end there. You really feel it, where you're like, I can't ever get out of this.
Yeah.
I have to wait for them to run out of cards.
Which is a problem.
Okie dokie. Well, let's crack some packs. What do you think?
Yeah, here we are. Here's an example where I got the Amulet of Lightning instead of an equipment.
Is anyone keen on these amulets for sealed?
So I actually think they're totally fine. They're element cards, 0 cost, non-attack actions with Go Again. Briar likes them a lot, like a whole lot. And then their abilities are instant speed problems. So the lightning one is particularly good. It's Go Again on a stick.
That's really good. Yeah.
So Briar especially, because it's also a non-attack action, so it's hitting a lot of the different needs, so to speak.
That's true. Yeah, it's like all that Runeblade math is different because you have these non-attacks.
Yeah.
See if we got anything weird. Ooh, Ragamuffins. Ooh, we starting with a red Overflex. Let's go. Give me a Lexi Pool, would you? I'd like to try it.
Congrats, Big Tim. Lucas, I haven't done any testing with Classic Constructed since Vegas. It's all sealed. I'm planning on winning Dallas.
Planning on winning Dallas.
Yeah.
Hey, that's my plan too.
This is a rare, but I really like Weave Lightning.
It's good, man.
Plus, and then the ability to give Go Again. You can see how important that Go Again is on your Briar turns. Getting to swing that weapon is crazy town.
It really is. I've seen that yellow Earth Lore Surge. What's up?
You love to see the Earth Lore.
Summerwood Shelter. I'm not opposed to it. I think it's got Frostlock.
Yeah.
It's a Ranger Majestic. I think it's not very good though, is it?
I don't think in this format it's particularly spicy.
Can't play cards with base 0. That's fine.
Got another Amulet. Against the Briar, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Everyone else, though, it's not very good.
Well, I'm playing it. Oh, I got Sudcliffs. I'm gonna look at
Suede Hides.
Oh, I did this wrong.
Dallas and Cincinnati, the main event is sealed, but there's a bunch of side events in the ProQuest and stuff that are constructed. Oh my goodness, another amulet. This is bad. Too many amulets. I'm getting buried in amulets here.
Sealed is competitive. I think in many ways sealed and draft are going to be slightly, well, it's just different. Not more or less skill. It's kind of different skill. It challenges you as a deck builder. It challenges you to like adapt on the fly. It's a much more fundies game of Flesh and Blood too, so it kind of rewards you for playing that.
Look at this equipment spread. Whew! Plume of Evergrowth, Runaways, and the Rotten Old Buckler.
That's some hot garbage
It
there,
is,
man.
it is, man. It is on fire how garbagey it is.
Cold Foil Coat of Frost.
No way! A double cold foil box.
Let's go.
Who's got the hot hands now? Let's get this thing in a sleeve.
Basically like the shield.
That's crazy. It's a beautiful cold foil.
Yeah, isn't it beautiful? It's beautiful.
All right.
I think they're actually going to do that PvE version.
I hope so. Would approve.
Wow, double turn timber in that pack. Pretty good. Turn timber in this format can do some work here. We got the hood. Merging Avalanche.
Don't like my ice stack.
Yeah, I feel like I started getting decent Lexi cards and then I got bad ice cards. Decent lightning maybe. Maybe.
This is a Lexi pool for days.
Are we both on Lexi this one?
Maybe. That happens. You gotta get used to the mirror.
Boring, though. Maybe not. Look, light it up majestic, too.
Ooh, look at that flash foil.
Flash foil. Oh, yeah, flash looks great. This is good. I feel like it's good so far.
Wow, look at your equipment spread, too.
You jealous?
Mm-hmm. Not even afraid to admit it.
Inspire, mulch, let's revolt. Flash looks awesome.
Yeah. The 4 lighting cards are just the bomb.
You know what's crazy? The amount of ball lightnings that I have.
Excellent.
Elemental Guardian. Man, 3 defense reactions? Maybe I could pull this thing off. I got that rotten old buckler as well.
You don't say. Old Buckles. I had a professor in college named Felita Buckles.
Really?
Yep. You know what? A funny story about her. She ultimately a very sweet person, right? But also kind of like out there. So I actually took a humanities class with my brother John.
Mm-hmm. Good.
3 years older than me, right?
Right.
For context.
Right.
We'd sit next to each other, of course. Well, it was like the first time we had class together in years, because in high school we were way apart. One day he was sick, right?
Okay.
Like 8 weeks in the semester.
Easy.
So she walks over and she's talking to me. And she's like, "Where's your dad?" And I was like, "He's probably at home. Why are you asking?" And she was like, "Oh, he normally, he's normally here with you." And I was just like,
It's my brother.
I couldn't handle it.
That's quite funny. Just let it be known. So this Oldham pool is only interesting because you have 3 defense reactions.
That is interesting.
And a lot of garbage. Past that,
I mean, you got a red thumb.
you have 1 red thump. That's right. Some snow under,
But
a couple of
you're
glacials.
literally step 1 is you're looking for thumps and glacial footsteps, right?
Yeah,
You don't have a lot of
technically,
them, but like for me, that I need at least 3 or 4 of those.
Yeah, a lot of blues in the pool. So this could be one that could actually get it done on the fatigue front. You also got the shield, so like you can maybe get that done. The lightning pool here, I believe, is pretty good. Let's look at this guy. So the earth pool actually has a ton of blues. Got a couple of Autumn's Touch. We got the Weave Earth, some Break Ground. We also have Summerwood Shelter, which is essentially kind of a defense reaction type card. A couple of Earthlore Surges. And a couple of Sotomaros. Okay. Let's just look at the Briar pool. It's a Guardian. We've got a red Stir. You like to see that. Red Singeing is fine. Yellow Bramble, yellow Stir, and then just blues. Blues in the building. This is not, to me, a Briar situation. I'm not on Briar here.
Good.
So, now, some people would just play this as Briar because they're like, Briar's the best. But I'm not convinced.
I mean, so the thing about Briar to me is I feel like you can play Briar every time.
Yeah.
And it's fine. It's kind of like Prism in Monarch. She's just generically good, unless you just really have. But in this, the way the elements work in this, you really just can't even have like an awful.
Yeah.
Because as long as she can attack and swing the sword afterwards,
she's okay.
she's fine.
Yeah. True story.
The least persnickety for sure.
And then we got Frazzle. And a couple of Ice Fiends. We've got a Crescendo. Man, this is looking really good. So I'm just going to put this away and just follow my heart to Lexi here. Let's just do it. I haven't gotten to really play her.
It's good to see, honestly.
What do you think about this Lexi pool? It's got 2 Majestics. Does that get you excited? Not that it matters.
How many pumps do you have?
2 in the Overflex, but...
What about your Alamo slot? That ice pump is the best one.
We do have Weave. We've got 3 Ball Lightnings.
That's good.
We've got Flash. We got the Ball Lightnings everywhere. Lightning Surge. Another Flash. 2 or greater, that was weird. And double Electrify. Pretty solid. I mean, that's almost worth playing Briar for right there.
Yep.
So yeah, everybody would play it. Ice Quake is okay as a pump. It's not exciting. Weave Ice, not bad.
Weave Ice is the one.
And then otherwise, kind of mashed potatoes over here. A lot of blues. I mean, God, you almost want to play Oldhim with that. Just defense Oldhim. You almost want to play Briar with this. I feel like I got the best Ranger pool, but then the Lightning pool pulls me to Briar, and then the Ice pool and the Earth pool pull me to Old Man.
Now, this is also in this pool, right?
Yeah. That's another Oldhim classic. And you've got the Suedes.
That's one of the best parts of the sealed format. It's like the elemental cards mean almost always you can go either direction. Like if you have a good lightning pool, it's like it pulls you with 2 heroes.
Yep. All right, so what are we looking at for pumps? We've got Invigorate. I feel like Electrify is phenomenal in Lexi. Like, Dominate, attack for 5. If it hits, it does 3 extra damage.
That's really good.
I like that.
Yep.
I don't think that's bad. This is also a flip.
And
Get
the
go
Heaven's
again.
Claws is super good there, too.
Yeah. Yeah. Ball Lightning is also fantastic. Lexi and Arsenal. Play something out of hand with Go Again, and then Ball Lightning out of Arsenal. But you need enough non-arrows for that to ever work. So maybe that is awkward. It is. Flash. Man, all these lightning cards are awkward in Lexi Arsenal situations, aren't they? Because like you flip them up for Go Again, but then their effects make the Go Again not matter.
Yeah, I feel like Flash is you just play it.
Yeah.
It's like you flip an ice card.
Electrify's got good play though. Yeah.
It's the ice cards you typically want.
You do
Arsenal.
want. Electrify me. And it's really awkward putting an attack down there. Yeah, I've decided to play Lexi, so that's just where we are. We're just going for it. So surprising. Ba-dun-dun. Dun-dun. Although I think probably, well, no, I won't say Briar here is better. I refuse to say that. Okay. This looks good. I'm going to take all of these cards that I definitely want.
And run.
And then I'm going to take them like this. And I'm going to put them in my hand like this. And that's going to get them off the table.
We got 2 red Earth Or Surges.
That's always good.
Watch your buckets. +5 is crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. 2
cards though. That's 6 in value.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 28, 29. So that's 29 cards that we get to play. Red Heaven's Claws I like.
That's so good in Lexi.
Just because you can flip up a lightning and then play it out of hand, and then
Well, you flip that up as an arsenal, and
There you
then
go.
play it with Go Again.
That's
so it's a
right.
1 for 5 with Go Again with Lexi.
you're right.
Yeah, you can also fuse with it and then put it in arsenal. Like, yeah.
Okay, so now we've got our start. I don't think blue Entwined Lightning is not enough for me yet. And then I've got some blue and yellow ice attacks. Winter's Grasp is possible because it is that 3 defense. So my next step is, what does my fuse situation look like? So here's my lightning card, here's my ice cards. And then what do I actually, here's some more lightning cards. What do I actually need? So ice fuse, ice, ice, lightning, 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 ice, 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 baby, lightning. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lightning. So we will be fusing lightning, no problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There. Now we're going to run into the same problem that all rangers run into, which is what happens when I draw all non-attacks or all attacks.
Yeah.
Well, you lose. So I want to find room for this yellow Winter's Grasp on the turns where things have gone poorly.
The other thing that I found with Lexi is like having just normal attacks to play from hand is very valuable.
Yeah.
Especially because like you flip a lightning card from arsenal and you get go again.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, if you just have arrows, it's like you can load an arrow, shoot the arrow, but then you have go again doing nothing. So if you can start with an attack that doesn't really have enough, that doesn't matter, it's just an attack, that's useful.
That's where the 3 defense attacks start to get pretty interesting. I'm going to find room for these guys. And then, yeah. So these are good effects. These are good effects. Blue Winter's Bite is fine. Blue Chill is fine. Polar Blast is fine, but not great. You really like those zeros that you can play out.
Absolutely.
With go again. That's the key here.
Especially,
but it draws a card, so like this is incredible. Yeah, that's
the
all good
arsenal
value.
cards that draw cards are so good for that.
Crazy. Blue Electrify is getting less exciting to me.
Arsenal card that draws a card.
Oh, it's a drawer. Yeah, that's right. It draws. Excuse me.
That's
Blue Flash.
Please forgive me.
Blue Flash is probably the one that's gone.
Yeah.
All these ball lightnings are good. Heaven's Claws is good. We got a couple of pumps.
That's like so edge case.
Let's sit here. Let's see what happens to this one. All right, we did it. Let's sleeve these babies in a beautiful copper. Or you know what? A beautiful classic gold.
Classic.
A classic gold.
Meanwhile, I'm in Briartown.
Oh, right.
But it's different. Not really. It's
this one doesn't do any arcane damage.
Low arcane damage, actually.
Okay.
There's only a handful of cards that do it in the deck.
Just playing the fundies. There's Lexi. You know, this is my first time sitting down and playing Lexi.
Let's go.
I played Oldhim at the pre-release. Premiere, rather.
You went Guardian after all.
It kind of just built itself.
Yeah.
As Guardian is wont to do.
You
know what I'm saying, guys?
I was talking to Tim. He's talking about what he wants to play in Orlando. And he's like, I'm probably going to play whatever Guardian is best at the time. Just feel reliable.
Yeah, it's classic, man. How can you hate that?
Yeah.
You're not even sleeving? Oh, you don't sleeve your main cards? What a monster.
That's how we get the reps in, man.
What a monster.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah, but this is a high-quality content for the video, for the YouTubes.
They need the sleeves on our decks. I'm sure. It'll just drive me crazy. Tell you what, though, this and cold foil is going to drive me crazy.
You going to get it?
I mean, it's going to be all the token things are always tournament.
Oh, they give them to you, like, for free?
Well, it's you have to win Armory, usually.
Oh.
Don't have a lot of those to go to around here.
I'll be doing that shortly.
Armories are... There are some, but one of the stores that's hosted locally, they do... They were doing Blitz, so I was not want to win a Blitz tournament is like, oh my god, you have to go to 10 just to YOLO into it.
Blitz, huh?
That's right. Well, we have a moment here. It's worth reminding everyone.
Here, let's pull out. Let's zoom in.
Hydro Brain. Hydro Life.
That'll be $10,000.
Man.
Imagine Corporation, you make that check out to Stephen Woolley, care of Covenant.
Not careful. I keep making the joke randomly that about not driving a Lamborghini, but enough of these ads get rolled and we'll be speeding out of here.
That's right. I mean, it's the target audience. We're reaching hundreds of people.
Hundreds of people.
The hundreds. We can get you an audience in the hundreds.
Sleeve and Gloom saying my LGS just got their first kit in, and it's going to be classic constructed. Looking forward to my first in-person armory.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, getting out to those pre-releases was so good in Vegas. I'm ready for Dallas, man. I got that itch.
Yeah, I'm kind of back in the competitive spirit.
I just need to do it again until I win, and then I'll be fulfilled, right?
That's right. That's how that works. And then you'll never need anything ever again.
Yeah.
You hit the high score.
You've got to enjoy the pursuit. Otherwise, it's hollow at the end. Definitely. I've seen it. I've seen the burnout happen. People win the worlds, and then they keep playing, and it's like it's never enough. And then eventually they walk away.
Yeah, that's right.
Speaking of putting equipment off screen, who's who now?
Ah,
got him.
Speaking of,
leaped right to it.
A classic segue. I'm also a little tilty.
Yeah.
It's just hard to play around the corner like we have to do. All right, here's a 5 of those.
David Whitfield says, but it's a devoted 100.
That's right.
And my water bottle.
These people will drink so much water out of your bottles. Shane, that would be awesome. Yeah, come on up to Tulsa or down to Tulsa or wherever.
Shane, are you talking about our Sealed Saturday? That'd be great.
I hope so. It's the only event the week before that matters.
So it's the one I know about.
Sealed Saturday.
Even Steven?
Yeah, sure.
Odd.
Odds odd.
Ugh.
You told me you're supposed to go second.
Well, that's against Oldham. Or Briar. But against Lexi, you have Dominate built in.
It's not even a question.
You're going to swing for 6 with Dominate, and I'm going to block for 3, and then you're going to Arsenal. So, that's 6 in value. That's just kind of free. Don't like that.
You'll block 3 of it. Yeah, you get 3 damage on the tail, but otherwise it's fine.
I'm going to go first.
Oh, cool, yeah. Coming down from Kansas. Hey, we're going to blow that thing up. It's going to be worth your time. Tell your friends. Or make new ones. What's up, No Soul Gaming? You're catching a stream, that's right. We're taking her deep today. Sealed all the time. All right. Over to you, Kent.
What up, Jacob? Saying calling Orlando. Who's going? I'm going. A lot of people going. All right. You ready to party?
Sure. Boy, Lexi's going to really want 5-card hands. You can already feel it.
Yeah, she definitely does. Between the fact that she's a ranger and the fusion, it's like, oh my goodness, I need like 8-card hands. That can't be right.
Arsenal pass, man. For real.
It's play.
Usually the best thing. I mean, if you're ever confused about what to do,
Amulet of Lightning.
Arsenal pass.
And then let's... Arsenal pass.
Okay. All right. Okay, I've got decisions to make. Whew. Okay. Well, we're not lacking for ice. Let me tell you. So we go 6. You know, I feel like feel like you can really dominate more than you need to. That's a classic Ranger problem. Because you really don't want to block. You really don't want to block, right?
Nope. I think +1 is usually the right call. Unless you have like the electrify and the hit is going to be like a bunch of damage.
Mm-hmm. And then we've also got this. So what's cool with Honing Hood is you can destroy it. Destroying is the cost here on Honing Hood. Did you know this, by the way? So even if you have no cards in your arsenal, you can destroy this to put a card from your hand face down into your arsenal.
Didn't know that, but that's useful.
Yeah. And I'm just wondering how hard to go at that currently. I feel like that's the turn you want to give the Frostbite when you also are dominating an arrow. Part of me wants to do it, but the other part's going to do this. We're going to play Weave Ice for +2. We're going to use Shiver. We're going to pitch Winter's Grasp to do that. We're going to throw a Buzzbolt in. We're not going to fuse. We'll play it, but we're not going to have to fuse. So we're going to give it +1. So I'm going to swing at you for 7.
Okay. Let me consult the compendium.
Yep. So you go in. Yeah, I think this is right. I think that's right. I think that's right. Are we still? Yeah, we're top down. Okay, I was gonna say. Yeah, what do you think? Was that the right thing? 7's a weird number, you know?
Oh, man. No block.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah, we'll see.
Arsenal pass, pass Arsenal, you're fired, etc.
All right. Let's go Entwine Lightning, showing you a Weave Lightning, so it has to go again. 3 damage coming at you.
Okay, you're going to have to give Steven a second on this one.
Yeah. Old Steve-O.
Oh, Steve-O. Steve-O Hillo got the dillo here.
I've been over here doing calculus, and I'm ready to roll.
Okay. Now... Okay. So is there a world... There's not that world. Well, that was kind of exciting there for a second. I thought that things were going to get good. Okay, Entwine Lightning for 3.
Mm-hmm.
You did fuse it?
Mm-hmm.
It has go again.
It does, yeah.
Okay. So I think these things are happening. Therefore, ergo, she, just like normal, has no defense.
Yeah.
So,
welcome to Ranger.
Yeah,
fan.
right. Got it. Still playing that game. So this is familiar. Ball Lightning has 0 defense?
Yeah.
How did I not notice that? Nobody told me that?
You have too many Ball Lightning. That's a problem. So I literally, so at the first pre-release I went to, round 1, I was playing against Chase, who's an old Destiny player, who's really good.
Uh-huh.
I take my first turn as Briar. He was also Briar. He won the roll. He went second. I do some damage. He swings 10 back at me.
Right on.
I don't block.
Right.
I take 10. And then I put together an insane turn. He blocks with 2. I keep going crazy. Ball Lightnings, Amulet, just whatever.
Yeah.
And then I swing for lethal on turn 2.
Yeah.
And then he goes, pass, dies, flips. He has 2 ball lightning in his hand, so he can't block at all.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my god, we were done in like 4 minutes. It was hilarious.
That'll get you there. Okay, so to me, I need to be thinking worst case scenarios. You just held 5 cards. You got 3 in hand. What did you fuse with? Can you show me the fuse card again?
We've lightning yellow.
Okay, so you're going to get +2, which means you're swinging the sword this turn for sure. Destroy this, give an action card, go again. We've got 2 coming in. I have fused lightning, so this is on if I want it. Yeah, you can get something going in. So what's weird about this is I actually can't block this. As much as I hate that. I mean, there's a world where you can block this, but you can't, though, actually.
You want to take 3, give me a token?
Yeah. Yeah. Oof. Boy, it does feel like Ranger. Boy, it does. Let me tell you, man.
Let's pick a 0, 2, 1. All right, let's go Weave Lightning for +2. And then I'm going to play a red Stir the Wildwood.
Oh, that's so good.
For 2. I can't fuse it. So it's just 7 damage coming at you.
Have you dealt Arcane? And you haven't fused? So Weave Lightning is making it a 7.
You got it.
And then you're going to swing a 2/2 on the sword.
You got it.
That's a pretty good turn. And then you're going to have Big Dad, Embodiment of Earth, as desired. Right on.
Right on.
Well, all right. Let's start.
Jacob.
Let's start slapping, man. What do you think? I'm going to take that.
Okay. I'll trigger this to get it going.
I definitely think it was a mistake not to use this first turn. Already. Yeah, but anyway, go
like
ahead.
On my turn?
No, like, so I could have started the Frostbite chain by putting something down and revealing it.
If you have an ice card in your opening, you can also drop it in and get a full hand.
Yeah, if I was going first.
If I'm going first. You can do this an instant. You can do that on my turn.
That's probably worth doing, yeah.
That at least gets you a little more value out of it.
Yeah, that's fair.
So then I'll swing the sword for 2 and 2.
You got it. All right, I'm going to block 2 and then take 2 Arcane.
Okay, you got it. Arsenal pass.
To make sure there's no shenanigans there. Okay, let's use Lexi and give you a Frostbite token. You have one of those?
Yeah,
Fancy.
giant stack of tokens. Yeah.
Then we'll play Winter's Bite, discard a card, or pay 1. It's Winter's Bite blue.
All right, let me think about this for a second. Seems good. Let's pay 1.
You want me to discard that? Okay. Let's go. Choose Shiver. Throw the Fraz in there. Pitch here. 2 floating for that. And now we got a decision. You're on Frostbite. You don't want to block. But dominate here is fine. I think it's going to be the same result no matter what. I don't think you block more than 1 card. I don't think there's a world where that happens. All right, let's go +1. Will you cover this up? There's no world where you cover this up. I don't know. You got the Frostbite. Maybe you take a turn off. Huh. Because if I dominate here, I get an extra damage. So it's kind of the same difference. Let's give it dominate. And then we'll swing for 5. If it hits, it deals a +1. Because I'm going to fuse it with some ball lightning there.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's think about this.
5 with Dominate coming at you. How's that Frostbite token feeling?
It's good.
Good. That's what I need to hear.
That was also good.
It's really for...
I had a crazy turn if you don't do what you did.
Welcome to Sealed, baby. See, the trick to being a Briar is just doing as much damage as you can.
Yeah. I'll take the 5.
And disrupting the effects. So it takes 6?
Yeah.
And then I'll throw this in yours.
He solved it, ladies and gentlemen. Mine.
Yeah.
All right, let's pay 1 for the Bramble Spark. Because you made me. I will show you an Earth card to fuse it.
Wait, that's an Earthborn Surge.
It is.
Okay. Done. Okay, Bramble Spark.
Then I'm going to play a Vela Flash.
It is fused, so it's +3. So that's 7?
And 1 arcane damage.
Okay, take 1. 7 coming at me. That Surge is going to the pile. And then you're swinging the sword for a 2/2.
Ah, it doesn't go again.
Oh, great. So it's just 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just lethal.
7, okay. So what am I doing here? I'm going to do this. Okay, so this is gone. I don't need this. I'm going to do this. Ooh, I do need this. Whoa. Ooh, here we go. I mean, we're here, aren't we? Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Yep, game point.
My gosh. How did we get here? Where did we come from? Where did we go?
We slapped each other real... It's like that slapping contest.
Cotton Eye Joe, man. My gosh. Okay, we're going to block for 3 and take 5.
Take 4?
Pivot turn. Take 4, yes. And I will be calling you in the morning, of course.
Arsenal pass. Don't miss.
Yeah, right? All right, let's flip up with Lexi. Next attack gains go again. Let's go Heaven's Claws for 5. Heaven's Claws red. 2 float. Has go again from Ball Lightning's effect. Or Lexi's effect with Ball Lightning. 5 coming at you with go again.
Block for 4.
All right, I'll crack this for 1.
I'll crack this. I'll take the 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll crack this to prevent 1 of this.
Okay. We did it. We got there. I did 6 total. You blocked with what? 2,
4, 5. So I took 1.
Right on. Embodiment of Earth. So fair.
Ladies and gentlemen, Embodiment of Earth.
Let's do Ball Lightning for 2 with go again.
Don't like this. What's the minimum I need here? Block 4.
Okay. You got it. I'm gonna pop this for a Frostbite. All right, let's go Shiver. Great question. You have to block with 1 card for sure. Earthlorn Surge stays in the pocket. All right, Ice Fiend comes in. You block with 1 card probably. All right, we'll get this +1 and then swing for 5. Cost 2. Got him.
I blocked 5.
Yeah.
Oh, it's passed. That's good.
Passed. This is where the Lexi whiff always happens.
You can always count on it.
You can always count on it. I played enough Ranger to count on that. Okay. Bummer.
Then each pack contains at least 2 rares. One of those slots can be more than just a rare, though.
What's your health?
6. None of these, though.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this gets pretty interesting. Interesting indeed. Okay, so let's go like this. I want to play both of these. That's true. Check. We really want this to happen. So we do that. Check. So we pitch that out. We go 4, 5, 6. Forces a card out of hand. 7 forces 2. And then we throw this guy into the discard pile. And there we are, at least presenting something interesting. The hood doesn't matter. So, let's go here. I wish that the resources were slightly different. Let's go Invigorate for +2. It's blue. It's only blue. 4, 5, 6. You know, maybe you've got a no block hand, you know? Let's pitch here for Shiver. We're going to throw Light It Up in. We're going to give it +1. Then I'm going to pay 1. Swing for 7.
What's it do?
If it hits, it does 1 damage for every equipment you control. And then if it does damage equal to or greater than the number of equipment you control, you can't activate abilities until the end of your next turn. Lose and can't gain activated abilities.
So I'll take 1.
Mm-hmm.
To come for 6.
Technically 7. I got a +1 on it. That makes 6 flames. I appreciate that.
Block for 4.
Okay. It's going to hit for 3.
Yep.
And it's going to hit for 1. And then you're going to lose activated abilities on equipment you control. So no Plume of Evergrown. And this is a weapon, it's not equipment, right?
Yeah.
And then your Earthworm Sword for a big, scary amount. And I hope that I can weather it. Oh, I did fuse it. Yeah, I fused it with this card. Flash.
Right. You're right. We're going to Earthworm Surge into a Shock Striker. Coming in for 10.
Woo!
Just need a little of that tempo. You know what I mean?
Tempo.
Get me a little of that good life. I did have a 0 block in hand, though.
Well, there you go.
That was almost devastating.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at.
Okay, well, I mean, look, you're Lexi and you're in this game for sure.
No, I'm not in this game at all. Not at all, sadly. In fact, that's death.
Really?
0, 3, 2, 2. Second block with 7.
And then you die.
Yeah, that's that.
Boom.
I think that's going to be the reality in a lot of those.
Yeah, just close, but not
You're just going to have to get such a good string of cards to make this work.
we were talking about this on Saturday because we were jamming sealed games. Not you, but the people I was with. And like, I'm not sure what it even looks like.
Well, the problem is you can't. This is the same Ranger problem that's always been.
I said
you
that's what I was saying.
block
I wasn't
the cards.
saying mean.
Any cards that can block are the things that can attack.
Yeah.
So when half of your hand is I can't block with these because then I don't attack at all, and the other half is 2 blocks, you can't ever hold them back enough where you can actively pivot onto offense effectively.
Well, you can't hold them back at all and offense.
There's no. You basically either kill your offensive cards and don't take as much damage, or you kill all of the cards that actually could pivot your turn, and then you take a bunch of damage anyway. Or you hold, like, that's where it's like, I think the first thing that I should have done is given you a frostbite on your first turn. And I think probably you have to keep them on frostbite the whole game if you can.
And if you just happen to not draw one,
yeah,
problems.
Because that's the only thing that can make up for the fact that your defensive tools are so bad is giving them worse offense with frostbite.
Technically, this is true. People are saying you could use this to bounce the thing to your hand to block.
Yeah, flash.
And then
then I could lose
the no block under.
Yeah, then I could lose later.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because the problem there is you're having to block with everything. And then I'm going to get a fresh hand.
Right.
And I need to do 3 arcane damage.
Right.
And every hand I drew for like 3 turns there, I could have killed you if you didn't send enough.
Right.
Like, absolutely unquestionable kill.
Yeah, you're on Briar.
Yeah.
Was it 450?
Yeah.
Do you wanna run this really quickly again?
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Let's have you go first this time.
Sure. And the frost there turned out to be wrong, but it kind of made you block whole hand. My hope was overflex, dominate,
Game.
the end.
Yeah.
Kind of the end. Those 2 embodiment earth tokens is crazy. It's so nuts. That's just crazy. My gosh. It's already a game that like has the interplay of your offense means, or your defense means your offense is better. And now your offense means your defense is better, which means your offense is better, which means your defense is better. On and on we go till the end of time.
Forever and ever.
It's just crazy.
Amen.
How's Briar going to do that?
My code.
I don't know how that's going to work, and it's already bad enough in CLS can be constructed. You find ways
I think
around
it's
it.
fine and constructed. Because you can present problems as big as the one she's presenting. And 2 3-card hands with her is way less good.
Okay, so let's just assume that we do it this way. This is actually, so this is pretty good. Wow, that's pretty crazy actually. Pitch +1. It's close.
That's true. The other thing about constructed that's totally different is you get arcane barrier.
That's important.
Yeah. So none of her shenanigans are just crazy.
That's important. 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we could go here. Huh. Well, that's a pretty interesting little question for old Steven. And I think we're going to go with it. Okay, let's go again. Don't get greedy. Don't get greedy. Okay. I'm going to fix the problem that I felt last time. Thank you.
Which is what?
I'm going to give you Frostbite right off the bat.
Okay.
Just Code of Frost. Boom. I guess I should do that. Well, does it matter? Would this clear it? You could pay 4 to clear it by using this right now. Do you not have a target? Can you...
No, the return is not the cost.
Okay. So you could just pay 4 to clear the Frostbite and blow that up. That's probably worth doing for a Code of Frost. So maybe we shouldn't do that. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. That was what I wanted to do. Okay, pitch.
The real heat if you attack is I would block with an earth card and then get to use it to put the earth card back.
Block with an earth card. Use it. Yeah, that would be impressive. All right, so if we go like this, let's go overflex, pitch here. Nope, pitch here. And that's gonna have 2 floating. We're gonna have lighted up here. Lexi, or Shiver.
If you really want to give me a frost token, you could overflex and then...
Don't have the money.
Okay.
Nope, because you gotta load and shoot. So you have 3 money to work with. So if you put Icequake in, this costs 1 to put it in. Then it's 1 to load, 1 to Icequake, 1 to overflex. Now you could put it here, flip it, and leave it.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna put this in instead.
Yeah, I like that.
So I'm gonna dominate 6, and I'm gonna fuse with this Weave Lightning. So if it hits, you'll take damage equal to the number of equipment you control.
All right. That seems good.
That's a good opening.
Block for 3.
Okay.
Take 3.
5 technically from your equipment.
Did it.
All right, and then I'll throw that in. And then there we go. And then we'll see how bad that first turn is ultimately. It's also, it just looks too good for you to blow up the plume for no reason and then prevent 1 damage as well. So I'm not that into it. Interesting.
All right. Sweet and simple. We'll go Singeing Steelblade for 1 arcane and then a 2 damage attack.
I'll take the 1 arcane as if it's my choice. And no go again.
Nope.
I'll take 2.
Arsenal dice.
Crazy. Okay, so then let's get a little weird here. Let's go spaghetti, lightning, fused against go again. No, okay. Lexi is going to turn this up, go again on the next attack. Then let's pay 1 for Heaven's Claws. And then, man, it's the money too. The money is also a big deal. My gosh. This is pretty crazy, to be honest with you. Yeah, okay, Heaven's Claws. We gotta pay for that the hard way. And that's gonna be... Wow. I'm actually amazed. I thought it would be so much better.
It's hard. Still Ranger.
I thought it would be so much better.
Well, in Seal particularly, it's tough because like there's not a lot of great hit effects.
All right, hold on. Take all this
And
back.
fusing takes way too many cards.
It's just so many cards. It's absolutely insane to me. Okay, Weave Lightning. We're going to put you back down. Then we're going to Honing Hood. Pick this up. Put this in. Then we're going to use Lexi to give you a Frostbite token. Then we're going to play Weave Ice for +2. Then we're going to use Shiver to put a Blizzard Bolt blue in. I'm going to pay for that here. Then we're going to pay 1 for Blizzard Bolt. I'm going to give it +1. I'm going to fuse it with Ice.
Okay, so it's got Dominate.
So it's Dominate +2, and then it also is going to create a Frostbite token if it hits.
Okay. So 6.
6 damage with Dominate coming at you.
I'll
in the deep stream now. You're not even entertaining. Now it's just Zach and I playing this game. It's as if you were here at the house, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna block for 3.
Okay.
Take 3.
Take 3. And take a frostbite, yeah. And then, should I go ahead? So if I Mark of Lightning this, you get another frostbite. Whenever an attack deals damage to a hero, create a frostbite.
Yep.
Is that too much? No, that's not too much. Let's do one more. Take one more damage there. You want to runaways it? I think there's an interaction there. I don't know.
Well, so you do the 1 when I would take the damage, and then blocking for 3, so I can't stop the hit effect. So yeah, I'll take it and get the frostbite.
Okay, right on. And then I'll throw this in the arsenal.
All right, mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes. All right. I'm gonna pay 4 for an electrify. Draws a card. 2 floating. And then...
Oh, cool. Vlam's on it. It's right there.
Let's pay 1 for Heaven's Claws. So 5 coming at you, if it hits, it does 3 extra.
Can't let that hit.
I agree with your assessment.
Man, once you start blocking those, so bad.
I just gotta get on tempo, and then we're out of here.
Threatening 8 damage off of 3 frostbite tokens. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm declaring a thumb war already. You know what's crazy? I think I might actually have to take this. How crazy is that? That doesn't make any sense to me. But here we are.
I took 4 extra damage last round, so I could pay off the frostbites.
But this turn is pretty good. Yeah, I gotta take 8.
Okay, so I create 2 of those.
Oh my gosh, the embodiment of Earth. What do you create 2?
It hits, and when it hits, this attack deals 3 damage to you. So every time I deal damage through an attack.
It's so good. Hold on. It's so good. How do you let that happen? You just have to, right? What the heck is this game? Embodiment of Earth? What the heck is this? Ugh. What is this, man? Why is this happening to me? I don't understand.
Brent, Steven doing calculus. Meanwhile, Zach swings for 8. No math required.
I have to block that 5.
To be fair, I was doing math whilst he was going.
I have to block that 5.
It's 8. It's crazy about you if you don't.
And I've got to block it with this stupid overflex.
Let's go.
No. I refuse. I've got to block 2 cards from hand to prevent your stupid little embodiment of garbage. All right, hold on. We got to play well. We're going to play well here. Play well. That's what you're here to do. Okay, and in the spirit of playing well, we're going to block this with 2 cards. Okay? Makes sense?
I'm here for it.
Okay, and then what we're going to do afterwards. See, here's the problem that Lex is running into. She also needs blues. This is expensive. This is all very expensive.
Yeah, I mean,
It's 2 for a basic attack. I mean, Guardians throw in a 2 for 7, or a 3
I just
for...
threw a 5 for 1.
Yeah. And my arrows are basically 5 for 2 at their reds.
Yeah.
Did you get Dominate? Sometimes you get a little +1.
Or you get +1.
Yeah.
So it's 6 for 2.
My thing is like, so this hand is really pretty good, but if you have double embodiment of Earth, it's certainly not as good. I can tell you that. It's certainly not as good.
Yeah.
But it depends on what your non-action situation is.
I'm at least going to have 1 usually.
You're going to have 1, but then, you know, your turn is probably a little bit worse, only doing 15 to 16 damage. So, okay. Done. I'm calling it good. I'm taking, what, the 8?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's just nothing about Lexi incentivizing me to block. All right, Lexi. Let's flip up a Heaven's Claws for go again. And then let's pitch. Swing at you for 5 with go again.
No block.
Taking 5. You are. Okay, well, let's attack that hand.
Then Trickster, this kind of puzzle solving makes me want to play Ranger. I think there might be something wrong with me.
No, that's exactly right.
You're not alone.
That's the way it should be, really. Now we've got this tasty number. I'm going to give you a Frostbite with Coat of Frost. You not blocking that tells me everything I need to know about me giving you that Frostbite token. All right, let's go Shiver on a Blizzard Bolt here. It's coming in at 4. Then we're going to pitch to shoot it at 5 damage. And we're going to fuse it with a Polar Blast. 5 damage. If it hits, you get a Frostbite token.
All right, let me do the math.
Dominate 4 there is so bad for me.
Mm-hmm.
Big Jim, those are hilarious. Well, I'm naked now. Come this far. Under that red overflex, ugly. Ugly. Probably wrong.
No block, but I will instant here.
Okay.
Take 4.
Take 4 and a Frostbite.
Yeah.
Okay, throw that in.
What was wrong?
I could arsenal the overflex here, or I could give you Frostbites when I hit. It's a great question. Arsenal overflex here actually gives me a win condition next turn, but I also didn't know that you were gonna just take all that. So here we are.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pay 3 for a Vela Flash, and I'm gonna show you a Shock Striker to fuse it, so I can play my next non-attack action as the
An absolute classic.
5 coming in.
5. And you're playing a Shock Striker. What color is that?
Red.
Let's just observe at how little those Frostbite tokens matter.
So it did actually. I didn't get to play a Ball Lightning instead, which would have affected multiple attacks here.
But it maybe is denying you 4-ish.
3 or 4 damage.
3 or 4 damage.
Specifically, the second one was really bad. This volley.
Yeah. But it seems like just the ability to play your cards, like when I was playing Briar, it's like, you know, all these turns I can piece together these attacks and kind of have a good game plan to do a solid amount of damage every turn. I'm scratching at the earth to try to do 6 damage in a Frostbite token.
Yeah. That's how I felt when I was playing this weekend.
I don't know about it. And like now, there's no way I'm making it out of this turn without having to block with at least 2 cards. And then it's awful.
Yeah, then you can feel it.
It's awful. But maybe I'll win anyway. 5. And any hit effects on that?
there's a blockable moment.
Okay.
No, just 5. I can play my next non-attack as, you know, go.
And it's the, how much does that Shock Striker do?
5.
And then you can pay 2 to bump it?
If it hits, it deals an extra 1, yeah.
Okay. Okay, we take 5 here.
Okay. As an instant, I'm going to play Weave Earth. My next Earth or Elemental attack gains a lot. Now I have an action.
Sure. Wait, I'm in theory it does jack up a hand, but it doesn't. It doesn't enough to like even out the disparity in defense offense so far.
I'm just gonna pay 1 and swing the sword for 2 and 2.
Okay. And I know you've got the thing in the hand, so take 2, and then block. Wow, it's the arrow problem, dude. It's so crazy. Ugh. Okay. Block it. Make sure this is right. Or no, we'll block it here.
Okay.
2.
Arch the pass.
Right on.
If I hadn't the red attack to have that actually boost something, it would have been pretty wild.
Okay. We're gonna Lexi you up a Frostbite, man. We're gonna play Polar Blast, draw a card, pay 2, or I gain Dominate.
Oh yeah.
That's interesting. Okay. So then if I draw red, so if I'm looking at this, 3, I do there, and I have to just hope to not draw a red. That's tough.
I'll pay 2.
Okay. Is that 3 technically? Does that not count for Frostbite? I don't think. No, it doesn't.
I doubt it. I would love for that to be the case.
Yeah. And then let's go 1 there. The fusion isn't gonna matter. Dang. Ugh, it's like 1,000 things that have to come together. I hate it. Load that up. I'm gonna give it +1. I'm gonna shoot it for 5. Hold that guitar. I'm gonna do the exact same thing, but I'm gonna do it here for 5. No fusion. Gotta throw the Crescendo in Arsenal. Necessary. But if you swing the sword, you just win?
If I swing it for Arcane, sure. Easier said than done.
Yeah, I'm with you, Sean. Jiminy Rickett, which set so far is the best sealed experience? Sealed Monarch was awesome, but it's also, we played a lot of it, so like, you know, there's a piece of it that's just familiarity. So once we get enough Aria in, we'll be able to actually tell. I think Welcome to Wraith would have been really fun. We weren't around for that one too much. We did some on camera.
It's block for 5.
Okay, you got it. And then I'll throw this in. Let's throw this in.
Sword counts an activated ability, right?
Yes. All right, throw this in.
I'll pass.
All right, here's my moment.
Yeah, it is indeed.
It's the moment we've all been waiting for. This is a 4-arrow hand, my friend.
Classic.
An absolute classic. Oh my god. I'm never playing Ranger again. I played some Bolton, and it's like, oh my gosh. And then I just played Briar and Oldham, and it's like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, with the Flesh and Blood. And now I'm playing Ranger, and I want to rip my eyes out of my face.
I'm glad we finally got there. What up, Jiminy Rickett? Favorite Seal experience so far? I really like this set. Monarch was really good, and then Welcome to Wraith is classic. That's just such a good set for Seal. You had 4 very playable heroes.
All right, so we've got... Here's what we needed. Here's what we drew, obviously. All arrows. Now, the real problem here is we ended the turn with we had 3 arrows in the last hand as well.
So you put an ice arrow in there?
No, so I put the one that if you fuse lightning, it has go again.
See a lightning
card.
card.
I think about 11 lightning cards in there. So I don't see a lightning card, so my turn is shoot for 4 and pass. Which is so bad that it's going to affect my long-term health.
Yeah, and then I cover it up and probably kill you.
That's right. That's how that goes. So swing for 4. And then, again, do you put any of these in the arsenal? You can't get them out. None of them
it's
are...
It's just 2 bad turns in a row, yeah. But you can't have that hand again.
It's not...
You gotta pitch one of these, right? To shoot that. I don't know, it's free.
It's free. No, I do nothing with this.
Hey, you can play an instant to put something in and get rid of 2 cards.
Yeah. Yeah. But then, I mean, I just have an arrow sitting here. So my next turn, if I happen to survive...
Is that arrow.
Is this arrow.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's fun. It's like mechanically bad. But I can say that because I've suffered through Ranger for 1,000 years.
Yeah. So you swing for 4, right?
Yeah.
I'll block for 4.
Okay.
And it's over to me. And I shock striker you for 5 and see what you do.
I'll block with the arrows. Eros, God of War. I like this card. I would shoot this in a perfect world, so we'll block for 6 there.
Pump for 3. Good.
You got it. For 2? Oh, you got the red one?
Plus 3, yeah.
No.
You got that red one, though? Because then let's say you block with the whole hand, then draw 4. Do you have an all non-arrow hand? That's the funniest part.
No, surely not. No, I got arrows here.
I mean, it wasn't unclose.
No, it's just Ranger, man.
But
it's just Ranger. It's always feels like you could win, and you almost never do.
Yeah.
And that's the class.
The problem, of course, and it's why I took the damage when I did, because it was like, I had a big enough turn to swing back. I knew you'd have to block. And if you have to block, 2 and 3 card hands are just sometimes the most...
You can do nothing.
Yeah.
You do nothing. And the other, I mean...
And then when all your hit effects are tied to fusion, by the way.
It's like, it's the whole hand, or it's 4 damage attacks.
Yeah.
It's not able to play the fundamentals of the game. You just can't perform the basic calculus of Flesh and Blood, which is problematic. Unless you have... Now, see, here's what happens, though. Like, sometimes you have a Lexi game, like right there, I have a 50% chance to just win the game. Straight up. Like this, let's say this is the next hand, right? You're on 2 health. Let's say I draw into this, and it's like, okay, give a +2, do the flake out thing, pitch this, fuse it here. We're going to go 6 with Dominate. You just lose. So, like, that's the crazy thing is, like, it's possible to win always, but no matter how well you play, it's just as possible to just randomly lose based on the... It's so draw dependent.
I mean, I think the problem is, it's not that you never win. You can win with, like, even here with Lexi. You could have won.
Absolutely. Like, this hand wins that game.
You give yourself so many opportunities to lose.
That's a good way to put it.
It really is. Though. It's like I was playing it. It's like, well, if I draw the right thing, I can win this game on Saturday, and then I didn't. And so, like, you have to have the right things the whole time. Whereas a lot of heroes, like some of my Briar turns, they were fine. But it's like, I'm just playing a single attack from hand.
Yeah.
But a lot of times you can't even do that.
That's right. That's right. I mean, like, should this just be free? I mean, it's got to be something. You've got to take the heat off of one of the dimensions of the game if you want this to work really well. But it's kind of maybe like Brute, where it's like, you know, sometimes you're rolling scabs and you're feeling like you're on top of the world, and sometimes you're drawing bricks.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how Lexi's supposed to be. Ranger's supposed to be a little push your luck, feel good and then feel bad kind of hero.
I'm really curious if the double arsenal matters at all. Because obviously being able to store 2 cards helps you basically have a bigger hand without having to have a bigger hand.
It's an interesting question, really. I mean, it's like the problem is still that you have to have arrows in arsenal. You have to get arrows in arsenal. You have to give arrows go again for them to perform like a normal attack in the game. So just like a card like Flake Out, for instance, right? It's a 4 damage yellow for 1 cost. That's already like the base math of the game. If you could play this out of hand, it's not great. Straight up. So the card, like 1 for 5 on the red, that's standard, right? That's your Veil of Flash or whatever.
But even a 1 for 5 from hand that you could get Dominate with on a fusion would only be pretty good.
What is Veil of Flash? A 1 for 5, right?
Yeah, but no Dominate, right? So
yeah, but it's got a fuse ability where you can go crazy, right? So it's like it's the same basic thing being balanced on the axis, but the cost of having to play this out of Arsenal is not being factored.
Yeah.
If I could just play all of these cards out of my hand, I feel like I would be competitive with the current sealed decks.
But it's that restriction.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, but Shiver's got this ability on it. And it's like, it costs 1, and it's good. It's good. But the 1 cost really is what kills it. That puts, you have to be on yellow to play anything at all. And if you're playing anything at all, it's not fusing. Yeah. So now you got to be on those 3 card hands. If you happen to not draw yellow, oh my gosh. If you're on reds there, you're just done, right? That's the thing. I think that's the axes. It's funny. We were talking about Marvel Champions yesterday, like really trying to figure out what was going on. And it's like, the all-red hand is bad for every hero. It's game losing for Ranger. The all-attack hand is usually bad for every hero. It's probably game losing for Ranger.
Yeah.
The all non-attack hand is bad for every hero. Probably game losing for Ranger.
Yeah. I mean, non-attack hand for me is fine.
Yeah.
It's not great, but like at least in Briar, if I had 4 non-attacks, it's like play 2, get the Embodiment of Lightning token, swing the sword for 2, and store the token, and then put a non-attack in arsenal.
Mm-hmm. There's like a lot of lines there.
Yeah, and a lot of it just comes down to having a weapon that can swing.
Yeah.
Like you're not completely just taking off of a turn.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? So like 1 card in hand can do something. The Ranger, it never can. It's just amazing when you think about that. I was dealing with that in Azalea, and I was like, I don't know how this works. I mean, at least you got hit effects.
It's like, and Constructed helps too. But in Azalea and or Constructed, then you at least are building around certain hit effects that should equal more than the sum of the parts, right? A lot of their stuff here, though, is like, so much of the stuff is anytime you would deal damage. Mm-hmm. And most seal pools don't have a way to make that effectual.
Right.
So, like, there's a lot of cards that you can play in Constructed where giving the arrows go again, shooting twice, and then having each of them have a bonus damage that does a bonus hit effect.
Voltaire, it makes a lot of sense. Like you start to play some stuff together.
There's cool stuff that's going on, and I don't know if it's good enough. Maybe it is or not, but in Sealed particularly, which is what we're looking at,
it's tough.
I don't know.
I mean, I think your best bet if you want to play Lexi and Sealed is you need to hit good hands and dominate that damage through. Yeah. And it's a good question. I mean, like, so even that game, if I would have arsenaled the Overflex instead of the Weave, that's a question of, like, would that have won that game for me? But then it takes away the Go Again Heaven's Claws, so you don't take 5. You take, like, a 9 dominate. You probably block with 1, and then you didn't block the 5 anyway out of hand because you had a really good hand. So, like, it kind of looks the same. Weird. It's weird. I would really want to see a bunch of different pools and see if there is like a Lexi, or if there's a style. I keep trying to make it a style of play thing, but sometimes you just draw bricks, and her bricks are like bottom of the ocean bricks. I think that's the real key. It's like you just duct tape the the cement block to yourself.
I mean, I think that's like when we're gonna practice on Saturday, and like I have a bunch of sealed pools sitting there. So like one, you can just look through and see if you can find a Lexi pool that you're like, this is worth trying.
Yeah.
You can see 50 pools sitting there.
Yeah.
That I was looking for the same thing. I was going through open and sorting, looking at the cards, and it's like, am I ever compelled to play Lexi? And there were a few of the pools where it's like, Briar and Oldham don't quite have what they need.
Yeah.
And Lexi had a lot of the cards in the back.
Yeah.
But even then, I was looking at it, and I was just like, I'd probably go Briar here. Like,
I'm trying to think of what I would even want, right? It's crazy because you almost like, the longer the game goes, you know, Lexi wants to play a bit of an ice control-y thing when you first look at it. And then you're like, but you're kind of just giving yourself more hands to go poorly. Because I think she's, more so than Briar, she's going to have turns where she's gone. Now, you will play against Lexis that are on top of the world.
yep.
And they're
It's kind of like
wrecking
Reinhardt.
everything and dominating everything, and you lose in 3 turns, and you're like, Lexi's impossible to beat. It's just this weird kind of hot and cold thing that Ranger does that is just, sometimes it bites you, and sometimes it makes you feel like a hero.
Yeah. I think in sealed, Lexi wants to go first and have like a 10 dominate arrow turn 1. So that you just have like a 6 or 7 point advantage.
Yeah.
And that even sometimes still isn't enough. Because
Yeah.
you had a 3 and an arsenal here.
Yeah.
If you hit me for 3 and you got an arsenal card.
Yeah. But the all arrow hands are the worst. I mean, that's where it just gets so bad. Because you can't arsenal anything. You can't attack with anything. You attack with 1 arrow, you know, and
it's
it's
not
like,
good.
and then I risked the arsenal hoping I'd draw a lightning card because I knew, like, if I did an arsenal there, a 4-card hand is not going to end that game.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. Well, we're going to keep exploring. We'll be back next week with more sealed with Tales of Aria. And we'll practice this weekend. So next week we should be a little more informative as well. And we'll see how that goes. It is an interesting challenge, I'll say that.
Man, don't get me on another Ranger challenge. I can't do it
A new set will be
anymore.
here soonish.
I swear it's like heroic on Marvel Champions is going to kill me.
Yeah, it's like hey, just play Oldham for a minute.
Just play Oldham.
Just play Oldham.
Just block, man.
Yeah.
Just block.
I believe you're gonna get that ice hammer in Dallas.
That would make my life way easier.
Can you imagine? Your eyes would light up. It's like, not only do I have a weapon, but I have the weapon.
You haven't. All right, everybody. Hey, take care. Thanks for joining us. See you tomorrow. Hopefully.